welcome back to Two Girls, One TBR. Your TBR is going to be dangerous today. I'm Rebecca, and I'm joined by my book besties, Chelsea and Heather. This is your weekly guide to books that keep you up all night, from spicy romantasy, dark fantasy, to those morally gray book boyfriends we all know and love. How are you girls doing today?
Good. Just waking up still.
Same.
Yeah.
I slept actually pretty good last night. The night before, not so much. And my husband informed me the night before that. He said I kept snoring.
Or
Did
he
I know
was.
that? He said it. No, wait. He said it took many hours from his sleep because I was snoring. Now,
Does
remember,
he nudge you ever or like try to move you?
Well, I remember he woke me up. Now, remember, we sleep at the opposite ends of the bed because my back was bothering me, and then I sleep better if I sleep at the end of the bed. He sleeps the other way.
Wait, like the
Plus, he
foot of the
doesn't.
bed?
Yeah,
What do you
that's
mean?
how. Yeah,
Yeah,
my
like
head's at the foot
69.
of the bed, and he sleeps it that way. And so our feet are. Our middle sections are together, but our feet are at the opposite sides of each other. Because our mattress, even though it's a really good mattress, but my husband's a really big guy, and it wants to dip a little bit in the center now. And I feel like I always keep rolling to the center, and it was hurting my back because I couldn't sleep the way I want to do. And by sleeping the opposite way,
You don't
I
get all
seem to
that.
be. I don't get that.
Yeah.
But no, he scared me to death. He said something to me like I must have been really sleeping, like hard sleeping, obviously, since he said I was snoring, and woke me up, and I didn't know what was going on for a few minutes. But he said I continued to snore for some reason. I must have been overtired.
Let mama sleep. She's tired.
I was tired. But last night I slept fantastic, though. It's one of those kind of things. But I've been watching Bridgerton, and I watched every single episode of it. And I also watched Queen Charlotte's mini series they did.
Really fast.
Yeah.
I did.
That was a binge for sure. I still haven't finished the last season.
Oh, you haven't finished last season?
Cute.
Yeah.
It's really cute. I didn't understand why people were like saying they didn't like it. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was so good.
And now, again, I have never watched it before, so I didn't realize people were going like 2 years between seasons and stuff. And this is going to be the first time in all the seasons they had that a new one will be coming out at the beginning of 2027. So they're filming currently. So we're actually going to get back-to-back seasons within a year.
Cool. I thought it was over. Okay, so there is more.
There's
so
8
where did you
books.
leave off then, Heather?
Where Penelope, well, I don't want to spoil it for people. They catch somebody.
Okay.
So then have you not seen the newest season?
No, I think I watched the last episode of the season before.
So you because this one's
this is Benedict.
Benedict. Yeah, I haven't seen his season
okay,
yet.
it's cute. You'll like it, I think. I loved it.
Yeah.
And now
I like
they've
his
already
character, so I want to watch it. But yeah, they're like, wasn't Penelope going to get married? Like she's engaged. Yeah, that's where I am. Is at the end of that one.
The Colleen and Penelope
that's their love story
season.
Yeah.
Did you? Now, I didn't notice this at first, but each child, all their names, they go in alphabetical order.
Oh,
yeah. I never paid attention to that because and then they already did the teaser for season 5, and it's going to be Francesca.
Okay.
So it'll be interesting to see.
That's the controversial season.
Yes,
because they went away from the book canon and changed it up. But I'm excited for it. I'm sure it's going to be good.
I think
I have not read the books. Usually when I don't read the books and then I watch the show, it's fine.
Yeah.
But it's like the opposite way. If I have read the books and then I watch the movie or the show, I'm like, ugh.
Yeah.
Now,
and that's the problem is somebody like me who hasn't read the books. I'm like, I don't care. I'm just excited for it to come out. But the people who read the books are like, that's not how it's supposed to be.
And I get that.
Yeah, I do too.
I'm on that hill when I read it. So
well, now I did watch a thing with the author. It was an interview and stuff, and they were talking to her about that because the show has veered, from each book. I mean, it's still the meat and bones are still there, but they have changed some things. And she said she loves what they're doing and she doesn't care. So the people that read the book shouldn't care either if the author herself doesn't care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you
But
just have
I've
those
loved
people
all
that
of
think
them.
that it belongs to them because they're the reader and they need to calm down.
I think they've done a beautiful job,
Extremist.
though,
Yes.
with the production and everything that they have done. I mean,
It's been
it's
beautiful. Yeah.
beautiful.
The
Yeah.
sets are beautiful. The clothing is beautiful. I love the
Well,
actors. They've all been great.
Yeah.
well, they said in the one, I think it was season 1, in one of the balls, they said, or between all the balls and different things that happened in season 1, they had over 200 dresses and costumes,
Yeah.
and they have to make all these. And then one of my favorite things, Eloise is my favorite. I have to tell you that. She
Yeah,
is
she's
my
awesome.
spirit animal. I love her. I love her faces that she makes. She can't control it, and I just love it. And Queen Charlotte's wigs.
Yeah.
I love her wigs.
Yeah.
But
Oh, man.
now, have you watched her miniseries, Heather? The
No,
one where
I
it
haven't.
talks with her.
Oh,
Oh,
it's
you
Where she's
so
have to.
younger.
good.
Isn't that where she's like
Yes.
younger and like how
Yes.
she becomes queen? I haven't seen that one.
Yes.
It's so good, Heather. It's so
Yeah.
good.
It was, yes. It's
It was the
very.
most emotional for me. Like
Oh.
I
Yeah.
wanted to cry. Yeah, it was really good.
I did cry on the last episode
Mhm.
because at the last part of the last episode, it's such a touching moment. You'll see when you watch it, and it's just like, that's
Heart-wrenching.
love. It's
Yeah.
love.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's beautiful. You have to watch it. It's really good. But that is that's what I've been watching on Netflix. Well, I can't
Yeah.
watch it now because I've watched it all now.
Find something
They-
else.
Well, they do
Oh,
have their podcast.
Watch Emily in Paris. I love that show.
Oh, I'll have to try that.
That's a good one.
Mhm.
And Daniel can make fun of it as I watch it.
Yeah.
He did watch Bridgerton for a little while.
Yeah.
But then he
then-
missed a whole bunch because I binged because I
Mhm.
wasn't going to wait on him
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know.
anymore. And
Wait.
because that's what he does to me. And then he's like, it's because I was in season 4 and I watched a few of the last ones on the TV in our bedroom instead of just on my tablet.
Huh.
And he's like, I don't understand what's going on. He's like, I like season 1 best. I said, it's because you missed a whole bunch of context.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I told him, I said, if you watched it, I said, you would understand.
Yeah.
He's like, well, why don't we have the people from the first season? I said,
Yeah.
because each season is somebody's love story. I said, it's not focused on them anymore. But the girl who played Daphne, she has not been asked back, but she said if they ever did ask her back, she would be back, on the show. That's
I
sad
thought
that
she
they
didn't
don't.
want to continue.
I don't know. I watched a recent interview with her and she said, yes, she would love to come back.
Oh, no, maybe that was the male lead. What's his name?
The one that played Anthony?
No, the one that is her husband in the first season.
Oh, the Duke.
Oh, Simon he
Duke.
was, but I don't know
Yeah.
what his real name was. Real life.
Yeah. I think he didn't want to come back. That's why in season 2 you don't see him.
Oh.
Like she visits the family with her baby.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
without
then-
him.
Yeah.
Well, they did say that there is 2 possible miniseries because we did Queen Charlotte. They said they think they're going to do Lady Bridgerton and do her story.
Mhm.
Cool.
And it's also possibly Queen Charlotte's the guy that's always 5 paces behind her. I can't remember what his name is. It's
Oh, yes.
they're going to do his love story.
Oh, his story was sad in Queen Charlotte.
It was.
We got a little
that
bit
scene.
of it. And even like Lady Danbury, it's like sad.
I love
so I
her.
can see where
Yeah.
we're
Oh,
talking. Yeah, I
she's my
love her.
favorite.
But I can see
I
how
love
we're
a
not going to get.
crotchety old lady, that has
Oh,
like
Yeah.
You will
a
understand
whippersnapper
so
kind
much.
of attitude. I love her.
But wait till you watch Queen Charlotte. You will understand her so
Yeah.
much
I
more.
think
And they said
she-
it's possible they might do a possible story of her as well, even
Oh,
though
but
we just
hers
got
was
to see a
kind of-
little bit.
That would be interesting.
Hers was kind of
But
darker, sadder. So I don't know.
I don't
She's
know. Oh,
how they would do
Funny
that. Lord
character. And I love how
Danbury.
she gets into the gossip too.
Yeah.
She's like, "Who is this? We must
Yeah.
find them." And
Yeah.
well, and see, when you watch Queen Charlotte's, you understand how she comes into the position she is in and
Mhm.
how she ends up with Queen Charlotte and all that stuff. And then you also get to meet Lord Danbury.
oh,
That's all I'm going to say. That's the face I
Interesting.
make with him.
Mhm.
That was the actor they got to play him.
Mhm.
He was perfect for that role. Absolutely. But, the thing that got me is that she had 4 children and Lady, because when we were watching season 1 and you see her, talking with Simon and because I thought maybe she was like a spinster kind of lady and she never had children. That's why, it was her friend and she, helped do things with Simon and stuff like that. But that is not the case.
Yeah.
But as I have looked in the future, because I looked at the synopsises on all 8 books of Bridgerton, that comes back to play when we get to Hyacinth's story.
Is that the youngest sister?
The youngest sister.
Okay.
See, every season.
I remember all this, like these names. I have not watched this in a long time.
Once you watch the newest season, she's a little bit more prominent. You know, she's becoming more and more prominent
because she's getting older, and like she's going to be coming into her debut
her thing.
as well. Yeah.
And then before her, then there's the younger brother. There's Gregory. Because see, when Lady Bridgerton there, when her husband passed and stuff, because that has to do with when she was having Hyacinth. That's why Hyacinth's her last baby.
Yeah.
She had 8 babies. I think my favorite part of Lady Bridgerton, though, is how she doesn't know how to explain anything to her daughters. So they have no idea what's coming at them once they get married. And then I don't remember what season. Is it season 4 or is it season 3 where Lady Featherton has to explain to her daughters?
Yes. That's my favorite part of that episode. They're like, yeah, we do stuff. And she's like, no.
She said, well, when he inserts. And then and her daughter goes, inserts what? Where?
Yeah. Like what?
I didn't realize back then that they didn't explain things very well.
Oh, yeah, because they didn't want the women to know. They wanted it to be like very innocent.
Wait for the day. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be quite shocking.
The men aren't. So
but that's what's kind of gross about it, is that they didn't like the men wanted their women to not know what was going to happen to them. Like it's just kind of ick.
And then the men could do whatever. And they could always take a mistress.
And
it doesn't necessarily mean they were married mistress. It just meant she was not necessarily of his, his status and stuff. Like the oldest son with his opera singer lady.
Yeah.
Because he really loved her when you watch that all season 1. You know, he was I don't think he was necessarily going to give everything up for her, but he was going to bring her to society with him. And he had those flowers, and then she had that guy, and she told him to let her go.
Yeah.
I think it's because she truly knew he never really could have her.
He couldn't commit to being the oldest son. Yeah.
He was the Viscount. Isn't that what he is?
Yeah. Because he's the household. Yeah.
Yeah, because they all have different, because there's the Duke, that's something or whatever. And then whatever their thing is, that's his title. I don't know, whatever that is. And then Francesca's husband, he was something. I don't remember if he was
part of Parliament.
He was part of but he had a title though. Was he? I don't think was he a lord, or was he?
Well, they're all technically titled.
Yeah, they're all. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yes. So Heather, you need to watch this so we can finish discussing this. So we can talk about the emotional damage of Queen Charlotte.
Yes, I have stopped signing up for ARCs so I can catch up on life. And ARCs. I'm beta reading right now, and it's a big book, so it's going to be a while. And then I'm ARC reading a few things that are due in June, and then I want my TBR, so I'm listening to Fury Bound right now, and I've got a lot of things going on. And then
what are you two
chaotic?
What are you two actually reading? Well, that's what you're doing. You're listening to Fury Bound. How about you, Chelsea? What are you doing?
I finished the Ever King last night.
Ooh.
So good. So good. And then I finally got through book 4 of the Blood and Ash series that I've been listening to.
Okay.
Yes,
that's
there's a
progress.
threesome.
It's gruesome.
No, yes, there's a threesome.
Oh, they finally get together. It
finally happened.
Oh, that's good to know.
So that happened, but now I'm on book 5. I thought it was over, but I'm like, oh, fuck, there's another book. And then I'm gonna start. Oh, I was arc reading technically The Throne of Broken Gods by Amber V. Nicole, the Gods and Monsters series, number 2. Even though it's already out, it's technically an arc read. And then I got to pull something from. Oh, I need to read Fury Bound. That's because that's the book club pick, so I got to start that.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
that's good.
It's a lot. What about you, Rebecca?
Oh, I'm reading Your Path is Sorrow by Parker Gardner. I started it because for a little bit before we did her episode. It's very good. I really like her writing. You read it, it's like you fly through it kind of thing. She's very visual. So when you're reading, you really see the world. She's very good at world building.
Yeah.
It's very good.
She does such a great job of like giving you just enough in each chapter too, and then like ending the chapter exactly where you need it to be to like get you like that angst of like, okay, now I need more. And then you're like into a different chapter and some other things could be happening. Like it just drives you in into like
it's very good.
Easy to binge. Yeah. It's very captivating.
So now once I get done with that, now I will of course continue on with her series. But the next one I'm going to read after that, I'm going to read this one here.
Oh,
yes, I have that out. Yeah, I need to read that too.
Yeah.
So that will be once I get done with this, I'm going to read this one because AG will be visiting us in June.
Yeah.
And
I need to get caught up.
I know.
With everybody.
And she's actually on vacation right now. I've been talking to her.
Have you
She's
seen
been
her
in
pictures?
Japan.
Yeah.
Nice. That's awesome.
She's got some cool reels and she got bit by a deer.
In what is it? Nara or wherever that is in Japan?
I don't know the name, but she was like, I guess there's rogue deer that you could feed.
Yeah.
And they were like coming at her and she had some kind of like feed for them. And she ended up like getting bit on her forearm by one.
Yeah.
She was like, I'm going to turn into a deer. I'm going to shift.
Yeah.
Oh, and
yeah,
she's
Nara. And my sister has been there and she said the same thing. There's some that are very brazen and then you have the good deer that are very polite and bow to you.
Huh. That's cool.
Yeah. And she's so soft spoken and stuff. So I can't even imagine her when this is happening around her. But she's been going everywhere. And she said her husband planned and he has all kinds of like tours and all this kind of stuff. I told her, I said, like the one tour, I think she told me it was yesterday or the day before. It was a 7-hour tour. Wow. I told her, I don't think I could do that. Well, I know Daniel wouldn't be able to.
That's all day.
That's
adventure.
all day. Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure
I like that.
I mean, it's super fun.
Me and Chelsea travel a lot. And I mean, when I go and travel, I'm looking at all the history, all the culture, all the eating, all the drinking, like immerse me into this new place. And I want to soak it all in. Yeah.
I'm not peoply. I get panicked. Like if I'm in a crowd of too many people, I have like almost like panic attack kind of thing. And I don't do well in those kind of situations. So I kind of like when we go places, I like to go places where there isn't a lot of people. Yeah. You know, that kind of thing. Like go to see a battlefield or go see an ancient ice age burial mound. I like to go look at those kind of things. Yeah. But I don't want to, like we have Kentucky Kingdom right here. We wanted to go to an amusement park. It's right here. Do you think you will ever have me there or at Hurricane Bay? Absolutely not. Do you think I would go to I don't know. They have all different things downtown Louisville. Am I going to go to them? No. Am I going to go to down to 4th Street Live? No. It's too many people. I don't like it. I don't even like going to the mall. I don't like going to Costco on the weekend because there's too many people.
Just aggravating. And that's not fun. Like, at least like go to Disneyland or something that's you got fun entertainment there.
Too many people.
Not Costco groceries.
I love going to Costco. It's like my mini vacation. But then again, a lot of times it's because I'm by myself. And I don't go a lot of places by myself.
I will not go there unless I'm by myself. Like, I hate bringing the kids there.
Now, before we get into what we're doing today, we are on a mission, though, to hit 100 subscribers on YouTube and Spotify. We want to build the ultimate judgment-free zone for spicy readers, but we need your help to get us there.
If you are on YouTube, hit subscribe. If you're on Spotify, follow the show and ring the bell so you never miss a drop.
Yes, please rate us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, like rate, review, 5 stars, please, you know. And if you're listening to recommended titles on Audible, leave a review there as well. It helps the indie community like us thrive.
So for all the visual spice and cover reveals, also follow us on Instagram at 2girls1tbr because we do all kinds of fun clips and things like that. And also, if you go to our Instagram, we do have a post, and also if you go to our link in bio, we have a thing. It's like for you to confess your bookish sins kind of thing. This stuff that you don't want to say out loud and get yelled at on Bookstagram by people that don't agree with your opinion. You can do anonymously. We've actually gotten quite a few little responses so far. So So hopefully,
So when are you going to share those? How does that work?
Well, we're going to next episode. Heather and I are going to be we're going to be recording for our tropes and stuff, and so we're going to be talking about some of those confessions. So, but I'm hoping as people do even more, we can do several of them every episode and let people know some of
that'd be
people's
kind of fun.
things. Yeah, because some of them have been really good and have been very interesting, to say the least.
I want to see these.
All right. Also, my TBR has climbed again. I'm at 335 books. I went up 6 books because, well, things keep coming out and I keep seeing stuff, and so I keep adding them.
I know.
To my list. Has your list, have they been staying, or has yours been climbing as well?
Yeah, mine climbed a little bit, but not much.
Yeah,
I'm trying to like read as much off of it as possible.
Yeah. I think the problem is more that it stays stagnant because we keep picking up arcs and stuff. So it just,
I'm at 300 and some. It's going to take me a bit to go through them.
Yeah.
But I have found a couple really good ones. And then, of course, I'm excited about, I think quarter 3 and quarter 4 are going to be amazing this year from just everything that's coming out. I have a lot of pre-orders right now. I don't think I have anything coming in June, but I know in July, August, September, October, I have pre-orders. Are you guys going to pre-order book 3 in Quicksilver? I don't know, whatever that series is called.
I haven't even heard anything about it. I haven't read Brimstone yet.
I have Brimstone sitting on my shelf. I haven't read it yet.
I do too. I haven't read it. So,
but book 3 does come out in November, but there's no title to it yet.
Okay.
But people are people got weird with Brimstone, because I don't know, is it because of the actual story? Is it because when it went through edit, they messed up like a couple of things that made it not make sense? But you read it, Heather, yes?
Yeah, I didn't notice that stuff, but I also listened to it, so maybe that was overseen during the Audible. I don't recall that.
I mean, Anthony Palmini can make anything sound good, whether the story makes sense or not.
Like, yes, sir. Yes. Carry On was there. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but Carrion drives that story. I think he's
hilarious.
The best. Yeah. I'm excited for, I think in the 3rd book, like that'll be his arc is in the 3rd book. I'm excited for him.
And I believe it's only a trilogy. I think this book 3 is the last book. Yeah, I don't think it's going to continue on. I don't know.
Fine.
I'm contemplating it.
Yeah. I'm okay with that. I think I like this. I like it, but I'm not like in love with it. Like, you have to read that story.
See, I loved Quicksilver. I absolutely loved that story. But I don't know. I don't know if it's just because of like I've seen the polarization of it, or if that's tainting my thoughts about it. But I don't know. We'll see when it gets closer to when book 3 comes out. I think that might be when I'll read Brimstone.
Yeah, there's a few series that I have started and I still have not completed because I'm like, oh, well, there's another like 2 books or something. Let me not grab at that right away. Same with like When the Moon Hatched. I really want to read that series, but then book 2 just came out or is coming out. And then I think there's a 3rd book and who knows how long that's going to take. So I don't know. I might wait on that too.
Yeah. So there's a lot that I'm just like, I'm collecting them and I'm buying them, but they're just going to sit there until
it's
we're
completed.
Done. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Well, this is why I have not read Fourth Wing, because I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait it out. Hopefully I can wait it out, but I just have so many to read, so it can wait.
Yeah.
I do want to read the Ashes of Thesmar. I want to get that read. I really do want to read Throne of Glass before ACOTAR comes out. Their ACOTAR 6 comes out.
Yeah,
that's a long series, girlfriend.
That's a long series. I know, and that's the problem. So I might just be like, I've read the other 2.
To it. Do you ever do audiobooks?
I do not do audiobooks.
You should dabble in that.
Yeah.
You should
Maybe
really
one
try
Think
it.
about it. Think about it.
Like while you're cooking or doing your chores, like your deep cleaning that you do and stuff, like just throw the
Maybe.
headphones on and
I
just
might
get
do
to
that.
it.
Maybe
Yeah.
this summer while I mow my grass.
And
That's
Yeah.
when I listen to my
they
murder podcast.
there's not
Yeah.
graphic
Just switch it.
audio. Is there graphic audio of Throne of Glass?
Okay. So that was supposed to come out like a year and a half ago. I ordered it on Audible and they keep pushing it. And then it was supposed to come
Okay.
out this August and they pushed it again to December.
Okay.
Oh.
But I've
So
heard that the regular audio is good.
yeah.
Yeah. So even if you just did that, I'm sure.
And they're
Maybe
like
I will do
$3.
that for that one.
They're real cheap.
Yeah.
Usually on sale.
Mhm.
So
Excited though. I'm super excited for book 6 to see where it goes, to see what our theories are. And I've been sending Chelsea new theories. So buckle up, everyone. I'm hoping to have another ACOTAR miniseries coming. Because there's people have been coming up with some even more interesting things that we hadn't even thought about. And it has made me go, that's all I'm going to say.
Interesting.
All right, now let's talk real quick about our poison and potion. It's time. Today we are leaning into the Rose Moon mermaid lore of 2 special blends because we are bringing Heidi Adams on to deal with her book. So the first one is the Lunar Tide, and that's the alcoholic one. And the mocktail is the Meridian. Is that how you say that?
Yeah, Meridian.
Meridian Pearl. So those will be
Love
up
it.
on our Instagram under Sips. So if you want to make those, they do look like they'd be fancy. And Heather, I do hope at some point you can make these.
I know. I'm trying to gather ingredients. It's really hard to take 3 kids into an ABC store, the liquor store.
There's a lot of glass things.
Oh, yeah.
That makes me nervous.
Yeah. Well, I just can't imagine like a 1, 2, and a 5-year-old like tagging along to the liquor store with me. So, yeah, I don't go there often. But there's always Amazon. Maybe they can help me out, I guess.
Hey, I'll tell you, Amazon does sell a lot of things. Can you order alcohol over Amazon?
I don't know. I know
think-
there are some services that allow wine and beer to be delivered, but liquor is so strange in the South and like the Bible Belt states and stuff. California, they'd be like, fuck yeah, I'm coming to your house. Can I party with you too? Gosh, I miss California grocery stores, and you could like go in and grab like a handle of like Morgan or
Any time of day.
anything,
Yeah,
any time of day, every day, and you just grab. I mean, and it's like $17, right? Like out here, a handle is like $35.
Really?
It's so it's bad. Like they
I'll have to pay
really
attention.
upcharge the liquor here.
It's weird in Kentucky because I've told you there's dry counties that you can't buy any alcohol. Sundays, if you're here in the county that we live in, you can buy liquor, but if you go into the county right next to us, you can't buy liquor until
Monday.
No, you like 1 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
You have to get past church,
There's
past church time.
Yes, there's
I
different
live in a
regulations for
completely
counties.
different world from you guys. This is I can't even believe that.
Yeah.
But you can buy wine and stuff. Like, say I go to Kroger. You can go, they have it, it's part of Kroger, but it's not inside Kroger. It's like a separate little thing. And that's where you can go buy all your wines. And I think they have
like the
I think
grocery
Kroger
store?
sells everything.
The grocery stores have wine and beer, but usually not liquor. You have to
Costco
go to
does,
a
though.
liquor store to go to liquor. Yeah, Costco will. But and then in Kansas, when I lived there for a while, they would only sell in the grocery store like beer that was like 2.5% or something like that, instead of like it was like half of the percentage of what a regular beer would be. So
that's weird too.
Yeah. So unless you went to the liquor store in Kansas, you could get the full alcoholic beverage. But if you went to the grocery store and bought beer, it was a different percentage. Isn't that strange? I mean, just like
now you can buy
rules
beer
that
here.
people come up with in different counties and states and stuff. It's like, why?
So weird.
Why are we regulating this so hard?
I don't know.
Yeah.
You can buy beer, like go to Kroger, go to Walmart, go any of those. You can buy 6 packs. And you can buy 12, 30 packs. Oh no, they're 5. You can buy the The big tall ones. You know what I'm talking about? The big tall boy beers,
The
you know, those
40
really
ounce,
big ones.
yeah.
And some of them are like 8-10%, and you can buy those at Walmart. That here. But now, where I was from in Pennsylvania, you couldn't buy any alcohol in the grocery store. And if you wanted to buy beer, you had to go to the distribution center, and you'd
Oh,
have to buy in cases of beer, 24 or more. And
weird.
then if you wanted hard liquor of any kind or wine, doesn't matter, all of that, you had to go to the wine and spirit store. So Pennsylvania is very restrictive and weird, even though people drink like fish up there. But here in Kentucky, you can get it. And then Bud Light is the most popular beer here. But my husband does not drink that.
Yeah.
He does not. He
I'm a
said
Coors
that's like
lady.
drinking water.
Yeah. Coors family.
I don't drink beer at all. I don't like it.
Boo.
I know. I just don't like it. It's like every time I
Actually-
drink it, I do this face every time I take a sip of it.
Craft beers really, I loved when like microbreweries started popping up. That was my jam before kids, like going to the new microbrewery, trying all their new craft beers that they're making. And then they usually had like phenomenal food, like, or food trucks. That was pastimes, you know.
See, I have to have sweet, like dessert wines or my wine coolers. That's what I like. But I will do mixed drinks. I will drink whiskey and stuff like that. But beer, I'm not a fan. But now my husband gets like German beer, like when it's Oktoberfest, starting in like the end of July into August, you can start getting
Delicious.
it.
Yeah.
That I'll drink it a little bit. I'll drink it because it's a different
sweeter.
taste.
It's maltier. Yeah.
And it doesn't give me like a headache or anything like that. I can't drink champagne. Champagne gives me a headache.
Yeah.
I'm going to
Whenever
let
I
my
drink
dog
that.
in real quick. He's whining, so he needs to be
Oh,
with
it's a
me.
baby. Oh, the baby. I love Chelsea's little dog there. He's just so sweet. Have your children looked at you from the window yet?
I think hubby brought them somewhere. I have not heard them.
Oh,
I don't know where they went.
the
But
drama.
that's fine.
Because I'm surprised they don't have their nose up to the glass going,
I know.
Mama.
And then they take their monster trucks and they go up and down the glass window pane. And I'm like, stop doing that.
I
I'm
love
gonna
it.
scratch the glass.
You'll have to do that fancy stained glass stuff.
I already warned my husband. I said, because we know we have ADHD here. So I started a hobby and I usually don't finish. And I'm actually very proud that I finished my embroidery finally. So I did it. It is that
Congratulations.
one thing has been completed.
Oh,
And then
the
I was like, okay,
baby.
my next one is going to be the stained glass painting. I was like, so if you see a $50 charge for paint, that's what it is. I'm going to start doing
I love that.
He's like, so happy that you brought him in.
Oh,
Look
yeah.
at him.
Look at baby.
I forget what you said his name is.
Parker.
Parker.
Yeah.
He's just such a good boy.
I know. Okay. All right. He's obsessed. We're obsessed with each other.
He's a sweet baby.
He is sweet.
All right. Well, we'll be right back, everyone. I'm going to go get Heidi. So we'll be back in a few moments.
Yay!
Hey, welcome, Heidi Adams. How are you today? Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. I'm fantastic. So happy to be here.
Yes. We're excited to get talking about all your books and maybe some new news. Is that what I heard?
Yes.
Perhaps. Perhaps.
Perhaps.
You know me, I like my secrets. So welcome.
Now you wrote when we were doing our little questionnaire thing, you said that you do nightly episodes of the Game of Thrones.
Ooh.
Are you still watching them?
No, because I finished. I caught up. I'm all caught up. It was my second. Game of Thrones is one of my favorite shows, and my
Love
husband
it.
and I decided to do a complete rewatch. Well, he fell asleep every night, so it was basically just me doing the rewatch. But I did. I was watching one a night, and it took quite a long time. But now I'm caught up, and it's amazing when you do that with a show. You know, if you reread a book for a second time that you love, or you rewatch a show or a movie for the second time. I caught so many other things.
Yeah.
That I never noticed the first time around, especially with House of the Dragon, the prequel, and things like that, and Night of the Seven Kingdoms, that other spinoff they have that's all in that world. And I was like, oh my God, that's what they're talking about. And I had no idea the first time
I know.
I watched it.
Yes.
I've never watched it.
You haven't?
Mm-mm.
It's so good.
I'm still on my husband and I have been watching it also, but we took a break after the Red Wedding because it was really hard to watch.
It was, and it's funny because actually this second time around, there's about 5 parts where I was like, "Nope, not watching that," and I
Yeah.
knew, and that was one of the things I skipped over,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and there was, like, 5 other parts that I knew were coming, and it was kind of like a blessing in disguise that I was like, "We're not watching that," so
Yeah.
that was nice. Just skip
Yeah.
on over it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we both,
Mhm.
like, looked at each other after that episode ended, and both of our jaws were like, "What did we
Yeah.
just watch?" And so we've
Yeah.
taken a little bit of a break. It was
It
I
hard.
mean,
was
what season is that in?
4,
3 or
3,
4?
4?
Yeah,
It's
3 or 4.
early
Mm.
on.
Yeah,
It
I'm
is,
still we need
it's
to get
3rd,
through.
I
We need to
think.
get
And
back
how
to
many
it.
seasons are there?
8?
6?
8?
8?
Isn't there 8?
7 or
7 or
8 at
8.
least, yeah.
6.
I
I
think
don't know.
there's 8. I honestly think there's
For
8 because
sure.
the last season in my brain, I wasn't really a fan of the last season except for the first
Mm-mm.
2 episodes. So I kind of
Mhm.
in my mind the show ends after a particular part, and
Yeah.
then I like to erase the last like 5 episodes after that or something because I didn't like because they went off the books. So the books
Mhm.
the show passed the books. So
Mhm.
they wrote it their own way, and I wasn't
Yeah.
really a fan.
My
So
brother-in-law
maybe.
was telling me about that this weekend because he read all the books and then watched it, and he was telling me that a lot of it, and especially the red wedding part, he's like, "That does not happen that way in the books." And I was like, "Oh, well,
Oh.
that's good to
Oh.
know. Maybe I could actually
Huh.
read the book then."
Yeah.
I never read the books, so I couldn't
I've
help you with
read
that. I have no
I
idea.
read the
Yeah.
first one and then audiobook for the second, and I have to say
Oh,
the
okay.
first 2 books are exactly, I mean, with, like, some added, like, detail and conversation and of course, but, like,
Mhm.
they're pretty spot on to the
Yeah.
show
Okay.
from
Good.
what I remember.
Yeah.
But then I didn't continue because then I was like, "Well, they're very similar."
So you just
But
watch
I
the show.
know that there's but I
Yeah.
know, people that have read it are like, "No, there's more characters involved, and there's, like, different kind of clans and, territories and
Mhm.
wars going on and stuff like that." So there
Yeah.
is more than what we see,
And
um, in the books.
follows certain characters, right? Like to different
Yeah.
like there's more. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I guess Arya in the second book has more details, like,
Mm.
more of her story,
Right.
where I think, like, in the episodes, it's kind of very, like, here she is doing this little part, like, the main
Yeah.
parts in the book,
And then
but
we
there
don't
is
see her
more
for a while.
with right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she has more of a story in book
Oh.
2.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well,
that's cool.
well, let me ask you this. Now, like with Fourth Wing is going to have its TV adaptation or whatever.
Yes, Chelsea knows
Um,
about this.
Now, do we think it's going to be is it going to be as good as the books? Or do you think it's going to what's your
We have
thoughts?
to hope. We have to hope that it's going to be as good as the
I don't
books.
know.
I
See,
still
I
haven't
can
read
always
the
just watch
3rd
the show.
book. You I love the first 2 books. I haven't read Onyx Storm is the 3rd one, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's the
I ha
3rd. Yeah.
Okay. I have not read that one yet. I read the first 2, loved them. I have Onyx Storm ready to go, but I might have to do like a recap somehow, like like look up the summary of the first 2 before I start it.
Yeah.
But man, I hope it'll be really interesting. I think a lot of it's going to come down to casting. I think they
Yeah.
really have to do
Yes.
the right casting
Mhm.
Yes.
for
And
that
that's
I'm
like
not
series.
worried.
with
I'm not worried
Laura.
about them creating the world. Like I'm sure they're going
Yeah.
to do a great job of that, but it's got to be. I kind of hope that they do like no name people in a way.
I do
Right.
Yeah.
too.
You know. Yeah.
Yeah, no pressure on,
Mhm.
like, "But that guy reminds me of this," or "This
Mhm.
girl says things this way and it irks me," and
Yeah.
yeah, it might be best just to, like, have newbies
Yeah.
and
Well, didn't they
go
say
for it.
Quicksilver is going to have an
Oh, I
adaptation as
forgot about
well?
that.
Huh.
Yeah.
Really?
So,
There's a lot
mhm.
of them coming out.
Yeah.
I mean, and you also have to remember some of these are they say like they've made deals and stuff, but we're not going to
Right.
see them for years,
Produced.
if ever,
Right.
even sometimes.
Now,
Yeah.
I know Raven Kennedy, she's going to have the Plated Prisoner. I don't know
That
when and
is
what
gonna
that
be
was going to be.
interesting. I don't know
Yeah.
how they're gonna do that one.
I don't
A lot of
Yeah.
know.
CG.
Yeah.
All I can say is they better have a very delightful Slade Ravager is all I can say.
I know. See, that's a tough role. Who's
Mhm.
going to
Ooh.
do that?
It's a lot of big shoes to fill with these characters. That's the hardest part.
Yeah.
Well, I was
Yeah.
listening to her she did something on Instagram and that she has all that going on. Then she has her duet coming out, the Pied Piper that
Mhm.
comes out in January, the first one. and then the second one, and then she has, I think she's working on a second duet, and then she said she's going to be doing a spin-off now. I believe that's going to be the spin-off, The Brother.
Of Prisoner, yeah.
And then we
of
just
the
gotta
Lady
wait
Prisoner.
for Rose Moon to hit the screens because I mean we've got fan casts ready to go.
Wait,
Yeah.
one day that would be that's my ultimate
that would be
goal.
I was going to ask, you know, when are we going to an adaptation for your books here?
I've got I have to sell a lot more books for that to happen, but like that hopefully it's going in the right direction with my narrator reveal coming up, but we'll see. We'll see if that hopefully that kind of I don't know. But no, I am. That is my goal. My goal is to one day hopefully get the Prophecy of Light series into a film adaptation.
That would be awesome.
But that would be amazing. I have quite a roads to travel still to get there, but that is my ultimate goal with
But
it.
I really like the way that you write. I feel like it would be a very easy thing to do because of the way you've set it up. So Carter Quint, those are big shoes to fill. Once again, another male main character that has big shoes, but it's
would
so
you
good.
want-
Like I could totally see it in my mind when I'm reading it. So
Now, would you want it to
Thank you.
be like a series, or would you like it to be like a movie? What way would you love to see it if it does become, an adaptation of your books? Which would you prefer?
I probably prefer a series.
Yeah.
But I
There's
would
just
take
too
either
much to
one.
pack
But
in.
yeah, you'd have to do like it'd have to be like Twilight or Harry Potter, where you have
Yes.
all the
Okay.
different movies. But probably I guess a series. But I mean, either way would be pretty amazing.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? That's a good. I like how you said that because like each book, as long as it had its own movie, it'd be totally good.
Yeah.
Oh.
How many books in the series?
That is that's
a
hard
good
to say. That
question.
is a good question. It's definitely gonna be okay. So Rose Moon, there'll definitely be the book after Rose Moon and a book after Rose Moon. So there'll definitely be 3, potentially 4, because I don't know if I can get everything in that third book. And if I do, it'd probably be like a monster of a book, or I might have to divide it into 2. Those are all the series. Actually, and Poppy Joe will be getting his own prequel, and I'm not sure what I'm going to be writing. That's not happening anytime soon. But one character, which I'm not going to say, is going to get their own novella, and then so there'll be 2 novellas, 3 to 4 books, and then a prequel of Poppy Joe's. So that's going to be the whole. Oh, and Crash is going into that world too.
Yeah.
But that's kind of like a separate story. But it's in that universe. So Spencer and Amanda will be getting a second full-length novel because their story's a novella, but it'll cross into that universe.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's a
And
pretty
Crash-
big universe.
Crash hit Audible in mid-April, so that's exciting.
It did.
know
Thank
that.
you.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I need to go download that right now.
Yeah.
I did not know it was Audible. But you have another one coming, right?
Oh yeah. The this one.
Can we talk about that?
I love that we keep teasing it. Eventually, we're going to talk about it.
We could yes, Rose Moon is getting its own. Yes, Rose Moon's getting an audiobook. And I did 2 of the 3 narrator reveals so far. Carmen Chantel is one of the narrators. It's done. It's a multicast, but it's done in like well, I guess I can't say duet, but it's technically a multicast. But it would, it is like duet style. But there's 3 different narrators. And I just announced Aria Jacobs is my other female main character, and then I haven't announced it yet. But when this comes on, I would have announced it yesterday, I believe. But I got Charles Vandervaart from the TV show Outlander, who was my inspiration for Carter Quint to actually play him in the audiobook. So
that is so
I'm kind of on cloud 9. I've known about this since October, but I haven't been able to say anything. So it's so
exciting.
That's amazing.
And do you know how hard it is, Heidi, to like keep my mouth shut? It has been so hard. It's so exciting.
Awesome. It's I still I'm still, I don't know if I'll ever get over the disbelief of it all, but I've had several months now to kind of like try to get over it. But yeah, it's really kind of surreal. So I guess I just announced it yesterday
Yeah.
and now it's out in the world. So and
Yay.
we're aiming to have that come out beginning of October. And
Nice.
I hope and I hope there's no delays in it because Sarah J. Maas's book comes
Oh,
out towards the end. It was funny because I was either going to release in October or January, and of course that's when her second book comes out.
yeah.
So I'm like, I don't know, like if there's any holdups, it might have to get pushed to February, I guess. But let's just hope that everything is on time
Yeah.
Sweet.
and it comes out the beginning of October.
Now,
Yay.
I was gonna say, like, would November even be the worst thing if
Probably,
you had to wait?
I probably could. I know a lot of people don't like to release in November unless if it's like
Oh,
like a holiday
Mm,
gotcha.
novella
That makes
or
sense. Yeah.
so that would be my only hesitation in doing that.
Okay.
It's not out of the realm of possibility, but
That makes sense,
it's
though. Yeah.
SJM
Marketing wise,
has
that's probably smart.
SJM has put a lot of wrenches in people's plans. I have noticed here over the last few
yeah.
weeks talking to different
uh-huh.
authors.
Yeah.
So many dates are changing.
Oh
And
yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, it's
I know.
yeah.
It's to
I do
have that
wanna
much power as an author. Wow, it's just like amazing. It's like
yeah.
no, right.
Heidi, will you talk about the story about Charles doing the role? Because I remember from the beginning how you had met him, right? And then it
yeah.
was like
You
we
met
did that
him?
post, like a bunch of us wrote on her post to like hype it up to be like, he would be a great Carter and all that. So tell us from your side, like what that was like in the beginning.
Okay. It's kind of a crazy story. So I'll just tell you how he came to be as my Carter Quinn. I'm a huge Outlander fan, and I was watching Outlander. Did any of you guys watch Outlander?
I think I've seen the first episode. I know how
Okay.
they meet.
I just
That's
got
it.
Okay.
Netflix, so I have it on my
We're
list to
behind.
start.
Yeah.
We're behind.
So I was watching Outlander and I wrote Rose Moon. Oh my goodness. I actually wrote it back in 2007. So it
Wow.
was a really long time ago. And I kind of wrote it, kind of outlined it. It was just like just got the story down on paper. And I never had like a clear image for Carter when I wrote it. And I like to have that. Like I like to have a complete visual of it. If it's an actor, if it's a model, if it's just someone I know in my life.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
I just like to work with that. And I never had it. I had a very distinct, I knew his personality exactly. And I could describe him on paper. Like, I could say like, he's 6'3", he's this, he's that, whatever. I can say all that. But I didn't have that clear image. And I was watching Outlander and they flashed on the screen who was going to play adult William Ransom, who's Jamie Fraser's son. And it's just like this, it wasn't even the best picture of him. He had like the tricod like hat on
Mm,
and or is it tricot? Isn't that how you say it? Is that what it is?
Like
The little like
Yeah.
the
isn't that
Like
what
the
it's called?
like the
hat.
pirate hat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
that's what it's called, right? I always
Sure.
thought mine was like the
think
pointy
so.
hat.
Yeah.
And it wasn't, I couldn't see his hair. I didn't really know what he looked like as an actor, but there's something about him that gave me such the vibe of Carter. And I knew what he had to look like because he's supposed to look like Jamie Fraser. So they had to cast someone similar in look. So I went on his IG page and I was like, oh, that's my Carter. And so I had this crazy idea. It was funny. I was like telling all my friends, like authors, it's funny when you get like an inspiration, we always send it to each other. Like, this is my, who, this is my, So sending his picture to all my friends, like, and then I had this crazy idea because I live in Pennsylvania and there's this event called Fraser's Ridge Homecoming, which is in like the hills of North Carolina. And he was the guest for the weekend. And I was like, oh my God, I had this crazy idea. I took my best friend, who is also a huge Outlander fan, and I'm like, I'm going to go to an Outlander event that I've never been to or experienced. I'm going to take my best friend and I'm going to meet the MMC, like the inspiration for my MMC. And this was the first time I met him. And he was out and about. So you got to talk to him a little bit more than just like your formal meet and greet. And at that time, Rosemoon wasn't published. Excuse me. So I printed it from Staples and I made a spiral bound copy and I handed it to him and I had him sign mine and I signed his and I gave it to him. And I was like, you're the inspiration for Carter Quinn, and one day my goal is to have you play him in the film adaptation. So this was 3 years ago now, I guess it would be 3 years ago. And so then 2 years later, he was the guest there again, which was this past October. So I had Roseman was published at this point. So I brought in the actual hard copy. It was awesome because he remembered me and he's like, "Oh, I left your script at Richard Rankin's house, who is one of the cast from Outlander who lives in Scotland." And he's like, "That's where it is." So of course, everyone lost their mind from the convention when I told him, like, Roger Mack has my script now. So I gave him my hardback copy, and I'm like, "It's published now. I still have the same goal, and I need an audiobook made, and I really want you to do it." And so then I contacted his agent. He acted really interested, but you're like, I didn't know, like, like they're
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
kind of like that's their job, is to make you
Mhm.
feel special and to make you
Yeah.
feel like so I'm like, he could just be telling me that he's interested. And then I contact his agent and I never hear anything
Right.
ever
Yeah.
again. So I didn't have any expectations. I'm like, this is super cool. So as soon as I got back, I contacted his agent, and my phone, like a minute later, I got a phone call from Toronto, and I was like, no. And I was totally unprepared. I knew nothing about audiobooks, at nothing. And I'm like talking to his like agent about this audiobook, and I'm like, oh, I had no idea what to say. It was crazy. um and like the conversation was like a blur. I could like barely remember it. But yes, so that was in October, and things just kept going and going, and I knew pretty quickly that he was going to do it. And so now it's happening. So
See,
Sweet.
that's neat.
Wow. Wow.
yeah, it's crazy.
Connections, man.
I mean, dreams do come true.
Yeah.
Right? So,
know? That's exciting. I love it.
If that's not inspiration to just like put yourself out there and try,
Right?
I don't know what is. It's so awesome.
Yeah.
so
Hey,
yeah,
I love that you went where he was at, and you did. I love it. I mean, that is
Yeah.
fantastic.
Like, you will be this.
well,
Okay. Putting it out there
I
for
know,
you.
and I knew it was really serious. Like when he sent me his like 6-minute audition, like he really needed to audition. But he did. He played Carter Quinn, and it's like 6 minutes long. And I think I almost passed out when I heard it, because it's like the character, like even his voice, that's who I created him off of. Excuse me. So to hear that, it
Yeah.
was really, really weird. It was like crazy. So in the best way. So,
Oh, I
so
love
yeah,
it.
that's happening, and he's doing the
Woo!
audiobook, and I've announced it yesterday. Yay!
I saw
The
that.
secret's
Yeah.
out.
Hey.
So exciting.
I saw that. Yeah.
I did.
That's pretty
love
neat,
it.
though. I love that.
Thanks.
That's super exciting for you, and
Yeah.
I'm super.
Thank you.
That's just, when you see these kind of things happen, and just everything that you put into it, and then you went and it worked out. That's
Yeah.
like Chelsea said, that's inspiration right there for
Yep.
people to reach for their goals.
Gotta put
I'd
it
be like
out
still pinching
first.
myself like every day. This is really happening.
I
It's amazing.
am, and it's funny because I do the reveal on Wednesday. Today's Sunday, so I have like my 3-day countdown going in my little stories and on IG, and it's crazy. Like so weird. I've no idea what's like what to expect and how, like, what's gonna. I'm just enjoying the ride like as
Yeah.
much as I can. So it's
Yeah.
very cool. I'm super honored that he decided to do this, because Carter is such an important character to me. I think with the however many MMCs that I write and fall in love with, I think Carter is always going to be my favorite, because of like what he represents to me. He's like, well, he's a combination of like 3 personalities that are important to me, as well as he's like the person I strive to be. Like I wish I could be. So it's
He's perfect.
thank you. He's very near and dear to my heart. So the fact that he's taken on this role is just like such an honor to me. So
Yeah.
thank you, Charles.
Yeah. Thank you for making our
Thank
dreams
you so
come
much.
true.
Yeah.
I'm excited to listen to it now. Really.
Mhm.
Like, this is going to be the best audiobook ever.
No. Oh, the Aria and Carmen are phenomenal. I had the hardest time. Well, actually, Carmen, Chantel, I knew early on. She auditioned for Ella for me, and I knew she wasn't my Ella. So who Carmen is playing? We can talk about this. Who Carmen is playing? It's kind of a gray area because I can't say if she ever like goes on like podcasts or lives. Like if she says her name, it's fine. But it's like I don't want people waiting to for this character. So
Yes.
she's kind of a twist, kind of not. But she's like
Mm.
this gray area where I don't want to broadcast her because I think people
Mhm.
will panic when they're reading the story and they're gonna be like, oh my God, why is this so bad? Like, so
Yeah.
don't panic. So she serves a very amazing purpose in the story. So when I heard her, I was like, oh, okay, this is this character, I think. But then I kept hearing more and more auditions for this character, and I just kept thinking like I couldn't have found her this quickly, but I did. So I kept going back to Carmen.
It's great.
And then Aria Jacobs is my Ella, and oh my God, I listened to over 50 amazing auditions for
Wow.
Ella. Everyone was so good. I had so many phenomenal auditions, but I was looking for this very, very specific sound, because Ella has to sound very young, like in her early 20s. And she had it was just I can't even explain it. It was just once I heard her, I knew I was gonna once I heard Aria, I was like jumping up and down literally in my living room because I was like, there she is. And she
Nice.
talks like Ella doesn't use contractions when she speaks.
Okay.
So she talks think of like Edward Cullen from Twilight, how like
Mhm.
you can't really detect that he talks very differently, but they say he sounds kind of formal sounding and a
Yeah,
little
like
different,
posh.
like
Yeah.
from a different time.
Mhm.
I and so many people when they tried to not use the contractions and talk like her, they had this very robotic sound to them where they
Mm.
almost sounded like they were talking like a robot.
Mm.
And Aria was able to do it where it was like when I wrote Ella, it was like the voice I heard in my head. She was able to deliver it with that very, very slight twist of that otherworldly different sound to her. But it didn't
Amazing.
sound like a forced robot. Like,
Yeah.
which like I said, I had amazing auditions. Everyone was fantastic. I can't believe the amount of people that auditioned for it too. It was spectacular.
Yeah.
But so my female cast, I mean, just matching them with Charles is literally like a dream come true. Like
Uh-huh.
I cannot wait to hear this. Like it's
Yeah.
like
Aria, I would say like to describe her voice, like you said, it's hard to explain, but it almost is like that. It's like music to your ears. Like it's just that
Mhm.
very pretty, like it's almost like I don't
Sing
know, it's so
song
feminine.
melodic.
Yes, it's like a
It
melodic
has almost like
voice,
a melody to
whimsical.
it. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're thinking mermaid. Like,
Yes.
like
Yeah.
that's like what you think in your
Yes.
mind, how kind of like a mermaid would
Yeah.
speak.
Yeah.
Kind of grasp that vibe.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
I
she
love
has
it.
just like that pretty, she just has a very pretty voice. I'm so excited for you guys to hear it
Yeah.
in Ella because like I can hear now that I've heard Aria in other like audio clips and audios
Mhm.
and then I have Ella in my head and so now like I can put them together and I can see it, I can envision it, and it's going to
Nice.
be so good. Yeah.
It's exciting.
Now,
I'm so excited.
I love
and this
audio.
is this is for
Like,
Rose, but
yeah.
now are you working on book 2 currently?
I am. Book 2 is going out to beta readers. Maybe this week, definitely next
Oh,
week.
okay.
This is book 2 has been a bear of a developmental edit. I got the developmental edit back a while ago. But my brain was so fried. Like it's kind of like as a writer, sometimes you feel like you're looking at your story through like the weeds, like through the grass, and you're so immersed in it, you can't really see it clearly. So you kind of have to take a step back. It's almost like doing like a palate cleanser when you're reading like a long
Right.
series.
Right.
You kind of have to take a step back. I had to take a step back from the story, and that's when I wrote Crash, which is really like a palate cleanser that I had no intention of publishing. And then I was like, oh, this is pretty good. I want to publish it. But it was really just to kind of like clear my brain a little bit. And then after that, I was able to kind of step back and see the story more from like a bird's eye view. I could see it all better. So then I stepped into the monster of a developmental edit it was. Oh my goodness. I had to I think when I sent it to my editor, it was at 85,000 words, and now it's at 105,000 words.
Ooh.
Um, and I had to push scenes that were towards the middle and the end up to the front of the book, and I added a lot of scenes, and that's really hard to do that because once you have everything written, when you push something to the front, everything has to match that. And like,
Mm,
so it's such, I was doing like a second read through of it, of all, after all the changes I did a couple days ago. And I noticed one mistake from that. It's not a
okay.
big deal. It's easy for me to fix it, but it's just like keeping everything in order,
Mm-hmm.
especially when you're talking about people getting powers and like I'm
Mm-hmm.
reading something and I'm like, "Oh my God, they don't have that power yet." But yet here I'm writing about it because I had to push the scene around, so it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't make sense at that part in the story.
Right.
So it's very hard to do. So I will be, once I get this out to beta readers, it's going to be such a relief. Because then I can focus on like marketing the audiobook, and my kids will be done school soon, and I can kind of mentally kind of shift while beta readers are reading that and
Yeah.
till I get their feedback and stuff. So
Yeah.
That's
And that'll
super
be
exciting.
helpful. I love beta reading for that reason of development, and just being a part of that process is really cool. And being like, oh, this would sound better if, this came along, or they said this, or catching the things, like, hey, what is this? Why is this power here? What are you talking
Yeah.
about?
yeah, yeah.
And helping,
It's like
helping
for
in that
all of
way.
us that wanted to be an editor when we were younger and we didn't get to, it's like that's what beta reading is for us.
Yeah.
We get to
Yeah.
we get to be in the editor role for a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how I feel some
Yeah.
days.
This is really neat
Yeah.
to see this side of it because, coming from just, being a reader, we don't see all this aspect of like what goes into, publishing a book and
Oh my gosh.
it's
Yeah.
neat. Again, we talked about this like months ago. We were just talking about how Bookstagram itself, how much we didn't know. And
Yeah.
just by talking to all
Yes.
the different authors here, I have learned so much, and I find it very fascinating because you
Mhm.
don't realize how
Yeah.
much goes
It's
into it.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I
And
had no idea.
everybody's process is totally different too.
True.
Yeah.
Like I'll write the first draft, and then I have two editors. I have one editor that does my developmental edit, and I have another editor that does my copy edit and my proofreading. So I'll write the first draft. Sometimes I'll send pieces of it out to, like, I guess you want to call them, I guess, alpha readers. I never even knew what that term
Yeah.
was until recently, but I have like my certain people that I'll be like, "Oh, what do you think of this scene?" or "What do you think of that?" Like,
Mhm.
and before I send out the first draft to the editor. So I send that out, and then my editor does the developmental edit. She gets that back to me, and then after I finish that, I send it to beta readers. Then I get their feedback, but I'm like, "Don't worry about grammar or anything because it still gets a professional copy edit and then a professional proofread." So then
Okay.
send it out to my other editor to get the copy edit done, and then I have to go through that, and then I send it out to get the proofread done, and then I go through that, and then it goes to formatting, and then but that's my process. I know people do it differently. But yeah, so beta readers are awesome because it's like a rule of, well, my editor told me, and I follow this advice. It's like, she's like, if one person notices something and nobody else does, it's really just probably a preference of theirs. Like,
Yep.
you can take it if you want to change it. If
Mhm.
it runs true, if it rings true to you, you can change it. If not, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
But if two or more people pick up the same thing, or they're like, the scene's dragging on a little too much, or I want more of this, or that doesn't make sense, that's where it's like, I'm like, okay. And
Yep.
beta readers are amazing for that. Like, they
Mhm.
pick up everything. They pick up so
Yeah.
much. I'm so grateful for them.
Yeah.
Now, I know, Heather, you do beta reads. Chelsea, do
Mhm.
you do beta reads too?
Yeah, I've done a couple. I've done well, I only got like through half of an alpha read. Um, but I enjoy the beta reading for sure.
I see. I never do that. I never do
Yeah.
arcs, or I don't ever do any of that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. But I love that you guys do
Yeah.
it.
It's
It's
just
such a neat thing to
hard.
see.
Yeah, it is hard to do it sometimes. Like I find it a little bit easier when maybe you aren't like too close to the author, like because if you have
Mhm.
certain edits that you want them to do or you have certain thoughts, like it can be really difficult to like provide that criticism. I
Yeah.
don't know, like
And
it's
it's
a
how
sensitive
I
they
thing.
get
accept
that.
it.
Like it's their baby, and they've written this
Yeah.
thing,
Yeah.
and so it is
Yeah.
hard to be like, "Oh, I don't know if I'm feeling this right here," because maybe they really love that part.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a touchy thing, but it's a really cool experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
If you
get
have that
that. I totally
connection,
get that.
that give
I
and
get
take
that.
of
Yeah.
the author with the reader, and just like understanding, like, I'm not saying this to be mean, but
Yes.
like if I'm reading this and this does not flow, it doesn't make sense, something doesn't make sense here, that I want to tell you. I'm not going to be mean, and I'm not going to be like, this sucks bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Because
nothing like that
it's
ever.
all out of
But
love. It's all out of love.
yes.
And it's just hard sometimes to like word it the perfect way to be like, this
Yeah.
is what I'm
No,
trying to say.
I totally get it, and it's funny because as an author, like, sometimes I feel bad if somebody gives me really good feedback and I don't take it, like, I feel like I'm gonna hurt their feelings because they've tried, so it's like it's kinda like, but it's cool because, like, I kinda tell my beta readers, like, at the end of the day, like, um, I want you to be honest with me, but, like, if and I respect and am so grateful for your input, but I may not take it, and, like,
Yeah.
don't take offense to that because,
Right.
like, and, like, so the same thing, like, I'm not gonna take offense to you giving me input
Right.
either.
Yeah.
I'm just so appreciative that someone will read my story and do that for me as a beta
Yeah.
reader. And it's also hard too because not everybody knows, like, even with my editor, we have this discussion, like, she doesn't see where my brain is, like, projecting things.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is a series, so my brain goes way out. So she'll
Right.
say something to me, and I'll be like, "Okay, well, I wrote it like this because this is where I think this arc is going, or this is where I think this character is going." And then she's like, "Oh, okay," like, then
Yeah.
But I feel like as a development for the series, that's a good thing to know if you're a beta reader, to say that and be like, okay, what is this? Like, I caught this little hint here. What is that? And then the author goes, you'll see in the next book. Then I'm
Right.
like, okay. And then as the
yeah.
author, that you created that, and people are going to put two and two together and be like, oh, there's more.
Yeah.
Watch
Yeah.
out.
And
Yeah.
there's a
And
fine
it
line. There's a fine line with that too, because it's like there's one where it's like an Easter egg, and then there's one where it's like these are the internal author's thoughts, and so they're like, oh well, this is what this means, and it's like, but you didn't explain that. It's in your
Right.
head, but you're not writing that in, and so it's
Right.
funny because like sometimes they're Easter eggs, and sometimes it's just like you did not explain
Yeah,
that to
but
us.
as a beta reader, you just kind of tag it and be
Yeah.
like, hey, notice that.
Yeah.
And you do what you do with it.
Yeah.
Like, I can't tell you to change it because I need
Yeah.
more.
Right. Yeah.
You can't have more right now.
And that's like what Heidi's saying. Like maybe you have one
Yeah.
person that was like, I want more. And then you have like the 5 other people that are like, ah, it's fine. It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, Heidi, do you ever read reviews for your books, or are you an author that does not read your reviews?
I used in the beginning I
That's
read them
normal.
a lot. And now not really so much anymore. Sometimes it was funny because I was always, when I first put Rosemoon out, I got way more positive reviews than negative reviews. And the negative reviews that I got, they they didn't understand. I don't think the people read the story. Like, I'm being really honest. Like, I don't think they they either just skimmed over it. They read one part in the very beginning, or they were just set on that and like refused to like read the rest of it. So it's like I I was getting negative reviews in, not a lot at all, but it was, and I was trying to approach it by being like, oh, I'm going to read my negative reviews and I'm going to learn from them, and I'm going to be, but it really just ended up really pissing me off because, like, and I hate saying that, like, I do learn from them, but most of them they were saying something that wasn't true, and that's what really upset me. So I'm like, well, I'm just not gonna, Goodreads is a place, I think, for readers, not for authors. So, and just Amazon, Goodreads, I try not to look at them. Every once in a while I'll have like one of my PAs, if I'm like, just go pop in there if there's something I should be aware of, and tell me. But
I feel like
try
I went
not to,
in,
but
I think I went in and commented on a couple people's, like, because the big one was the age gap that does not exist.
right.
And so I think when I had left my Goodreads review, I went in there and I was like, this isn't true. Like, don't listen to this review.
Nice.
No, I'll just tell everybody what it was. So when I write Carter and Ella, I write them as the same exact age. Even though Ella, when they first, well, they first meet technically when Carter's 5. And she's like observing. She's there for a reason. And you'll find this out in the book. And she's just kind of in this area and she's observing him and this family. So the prologue in the very beginning of the book starts out with Carter on the dock and he like sees her in the water. And humans aren't supposed to be able to see meridians, which is mermaids. They're called meridians in the Prophecy of Light series. And humans aren't supposed to be able to see them unless if they reveal themselves to humans. And all of a
Okay.
sudden, he's like, "Mommy, there's a girl in the water!" And so like she's like, "What?" So she's very intrigued and drawn to this family because there's this little boy that can see her, and he shouldn't be able to.
Mm-hmm.
So like you kind of find out through the story of why that is, why she's there.
Mm-hmm.
And they first start talking and everything. Well, they first start talking when he is 16. He meets her briefly in the water, and he thinks that she's just like a human girl that he meets in the water. But then they start kind of getting into a relationship when he's 17, and the book goes well into his adult life. It stands over like 13 years or whatever into his adult life. And when they first meet, she's 202 years old in human years. But she's equivalent to that of like a 20-year-old human
Right.
because she ages much slower
Mm-hmm.
physically and emotionally because she lives to be like 1,000 years old
Right.
than humans do. So I've never in my life, since I started thinking of the story back in 2007, actually probably earlier than that, I've always looked at them as the exact same age, and they view themselves as the exact same age. So I had people accusing me of grooming, that Ella was grooming Carter, which is absurd and really hurtful because I write under my real name and I have kids and stuff. So it's like, I had a couple of these accusations come out and it really pissed me off because it couldn't be like further from the truth. And I just feel like they didn't read the whole story because
Right.
it's explained in that. And I think they just saw the year difference and that was it. Like
Yeah, some
they
people have
didn't
an ick with that and they like
yeah.
immediate. It's
Yeah.
weird.
And
It's
it's not like
fantasy book.
yeah, and it's not real. It's a fantasy book.
Yeah.
They're not real people. And and it's also like not like Ella she didn't lead this life of this like promiscuous past where she
Yeah.
was a warrior. She was essentially a warrior on the battlefield her entire life. And when she met Carter, that was her first experience of any kind of love or physical contact or anything. So when she came to the table, it was very innocent. And, so like both of them were at the time. Like, Carter had more of like a bit of a background with, relationships than her to an extent, but he was still very green as well, I
Yeah.
guess you could say, when they both met. So it was like this very innocent kind of a beginning for them. And the people that like didn't see it like that, I don't know how they didn't see it. Like I hope maybe it was my fault in the way I wrote some things. I don't
The
know,
way
but
you just described
I
that, I didn't even that didn't come to mind.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I know another indie author who had this exact thing happen actually, and she had to change like a certain nickname in her from the arc read to like the final publish because people were accusing her of like a grooming and she's younger, but in fact she was like a billion-year-old star, but she was just a small little thing compared to like these giant people in the story. And yeah,
yeah.
people sometimes just perseverate on that and you can't
Yeah.
get it out of their head.
And it's
So
hard
Yeah.
because you have people and it's easy to say don't listen to the negative people, right? But it's like these talk so loud. And so that's why it's hard to ignore them. But
yeah.
like, I don't know, like the people that go into books just to like tear them apart or to like start a book and then I'm not even going to finish it because this just got, like I didn't like this. And then
And then
they leave a review. Yeah. And then you
Yeah.
leave a review about it. And it's just like, you know what? Screw you. But it's so good. And when you like see Carter is like the perfect to this day, he is like number one. Just the way
Little
his like
cinnamon.
his morals, like he's just he's so perfect. I love him.
Oh,
Thank
Yeah.
you. Again, I can't wait for people to read the second book. I'm a little nervous because it's very different than Rose Moon, So I hope it doesn't give people too much whiplash, but I hope it does in a good way. Because it's very different. It's very fast paced. It's dark in comparison to Rose
Oh.
Moon. Yeah, it certainly has its lighter moments. There's a lot of comedy in this book. There's a lot more
Nice.
comedy in this than I had thought until I went back and did the read through, and I was like laughing out loud at certain parts because I forgot they were in there, and I was like, oh, that's pretty funny actually.
Yeah.
But it's a much different tone. I think it's definitely gonna be the darkest, book in the series. So, yeah, and I'm very excited for people to read it because it's very different. I think you get a little bit of a hint at the direction it's going in at the end of Rose Moon. And then it ends with a huge twist at the end. So yeah.
Oh no.
It's really hard
So
it's really hard not to spoil Rose Moon as we're talking, but now I'm like, I really want to know what's in book 2.
Now you just updated the cover art for Rose Moon as well.
I did.
Yeah.
I
So
did.
here's the
Both of them are
original.
beautiful, though.
Yeah.
Thank you.
There's the
I
original.
like that.
I'm gonna spray the edges, by the way. That's why they're half done.
Oh
Nice.
wow.
But I'm dying to see your new cover in person.
Wait, hang on. I have one with can I reach it without can I grab it real quick?
Yeah, of course you can.
Okay,
Please.
hold on.
The new one is the cover on it is
Oh,
gorgeous.
so
Yeah.
pretty. So vibrant.
I love a beautiful cover.
Yeah.
My hardbacks will be here soon but that's it with that's my little like what they send you on Amazon when it's not that's like my proof copy, I guess you could say. But
Yeah.
So
that's
pretty.
what it looks like. And I had to get a new cover because the woman that did my original cover, she's not doing them anymore. And I needed it to match the audiobook cover.
Oh.
So I needed to get it redone, and then I needed it to match all the rest of the books from the series too. So what's funny is I always kind of envisioned this is sort of the cover I always envisioned. But when my other cover designer was making it, she showed me the image of the piano in the water because I wanted the dock, and she showed me the image of the piano in the water, and I was like, oh wow, like I love that. So I just went with it. But this was sort of always what I had anticipated the whole time from the very beginning was the dock, the Rose Moon, and kind of like this fantasy edging of it.
Yeah.
So
Beautiful.
It's very pretty.
It really
I love
is.
it. I love the colors.
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I love a beautiful cover.
Yeah, we're
If
cover
you ever paid,
snobs.
yes, we're cover snobs.
We love a good cover.
I'll tell you, here lately, a lot of the books that have been coming out, they've been having such beautiful covers. That is one thing that does sell me on a book is a cover. But the one though that I am disappointed in, I haven't read the book yet. Heather has read it, but it's going to be re-released, I think, because it went trad in June. It's Daggermouth. I do not like the cover on that book.
Oh.
Have you seen it? And it's like
I've seen it. It's like a heart, right? With like, they're like lasers or something. I'm trying to think.
Yeah.
I heard it. I haven't read the book yet. That's one of the ones I want to read.
haven't
But I
yet
haven't.
either.
Well, they're
Yeah.
saying, well, from what I've seen of when it goes, because I think it's in June or July, you can get the traditional published ones. It's a little better. It's prettier, a little bit prettier,
similar.
but it's still it's weird. I don't know. That one was not. But again, people said the story is amazing. But
it is. It's a great book. It's kind of
I
like
want to read it.
one
I
of
just
those
don't like the cover.
you wouldn't pick it up. Like for me, like if I walked by it, I wouldn't have thought like, oh, that's a fantasy dystopian. I would have thought like a thriller or mystery kind of cover, and I probably would have walked by it in the store. But I don't know, people. I mean, it does make sense, a little sense after reading the book. So like sometimes you have to read the book to understand the cover. Sometimes, if there's little Easter eggs in there, and I just like I get it, but it's not a lot. It's not a lot to it.
But the cover that's coming out traditional, it's similar, but it does. I think that the traditional one looks
a little better. It looks a little better, but I would still not think that that's a dystopian fantasy book. That's all.
See, I think a lot of times, like, this is still my thought in it. I still think that indie covers are always my favorite covers because you have more of the free will, to create what you want. You don't have someone saying blah, blah, blah at you, because they're traditional and you have to
And
do
I
it a
love
specific
that.
way.
Yeah.
I love that.
I just think indie covers, they're my favorite. I like to get them, like, let's say, when they go traditional, I try to get the indie covers before they go traditional. Because again, they're my favorites.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now the ones that I have gotten here recently that have gone traditional, it's Elizabeth Helen. It's their I forget what these series is actually called, but it's Bonded by Thorns is the first one.
Yeah.
And now I'm weird with like a person on the cover, because sometimes it always gives me the Fabio Days vibe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But now she had the sisters, because I found out Elizabeth Helen is two people. Again, didn't have any idea. But I do really like her covers, even though there's a person on it. I like how it is done, if that makes sense. But it's definitely not a Fabio cover. Heidi, don't do a Fabio cover.
Yeah.
I'm not. Well, Crash has people on them, but they're
Well,
not
it
really
does,
Fabio.
But they're not Fabio though.
They're
It's not that
Fabio.
style.
I was just
Oh,
gonna say I put people on a cover, and I'm like, wait, Crash has people on the cover.
But I thought most romance books have covers with like people on the
do.
covers.
Yeah.
but it's different though. You know what I mean?
I know what you're saying. I
You
know
know what I
exactly what
mean.
you're saying, because I was originally just gonna do like a mountain with the white and then the red with the crash, and then I saw Mia Sheridan's book. I think it's called Dane Storm, and there's like a picture of a couple on the front, very faded, kind of like how Crash is. It's not like out in your face, so they're kind of
Yeah.
faded, and there was like a storm and everything. And that's actually, I was like, I really like that, so I gave that idea to that designer, along with my other ideas, and
Yeah.
that's how we got the Crash cover.
Crash
But,
to me almost looks like a movie poster.
Yeah.
it kind of does. I see
It's
what you're
cool.
saying.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But no, Chelsea and I have talked about Fabio, and he doesn't do the covers anymore. We're very disappointed in that. Nor does he do his "He Can't Believe It's Not Butter" anymore advertisements.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
So
Fabio. Because he's what,
Fabio.
6? What did we find out? He was 60 something.
Yeah.
Isn't that what we found out?
Yeah.
Fabio. But growing
Although
up in
you
the
could put-
80s.
You could put Charles on the cover. That would be fine.
Ooh.
I could put Charles on the cover.
That would be
like
fine.
an exception.
That's acceptable.
Exception to the rule.
Yeah.
I had to-
And Heidi, for your new books, they also have your immersive playlist in them, right? Like nothing is changing on the inside, just the cover.
Right.
Okay.
Just the cover.
You
Just
guys
the
have
cover.
to look at the playlist when you go to read it, because I can tell you, like, as you're reading, it is you're like, oh yeah, yep, this is Carter. This is what Carter's going through. Like it is so
Cool.
spot on. So you have to make sure that you pay attention to that and listen to them.
Yeah, I actually it's funny. I don't know if I'll go as in depth with the next book, because that was hard. That was tricky to do, because I did it with Roseman, where the playlist is, I actually referred to it as like an immersive experience, because I wrote it in order of the book, and it was because I write to music. So every scene is kind of written to a specific song and vibe. So I made the playlist, so if you listen to it from start to finish, it's kind of like Carter's emotional journey from start to finish of the book. And then in the back of the book, so I have the playlist, I have that written in the front and listed, and in the back, I actually linked each scene to which music piece I wrote it to. I don't know if I'm going to go that in detail with, because it was hard to do that, because sometimes you'll write something for one scene, but then you'll reuse that same for a different scene. And then it's like, it was hard to do that, like keep it in order. So it like followed that. So I might just indicate, I might just put the list in the front on the next one, and then just indicate like this song was written for these particular scenes, instead of trying to like do it from start to finish in like that emotional flow of the component, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
But the next book's playlist is awesome. I'm finalizing that as we speak too. I'm really happy with how that turned out.
Yeah. I mean, you had a lot of Hans Zimmer in the first one. Are we getting like dark Hans Zimmer in the second one?
We are. We have some Hans Zimmer from The Dark Knight, from Batman in the second book. And yeah, it's so hard.
Nice.
It's so hard not to because there's so many
Spoil.
twists in Rosemary. Yeah, there's so many twists. It's like, oh, I say this character's name, say this. But yeah, the next book is very different, but I hope it's received, well, it being very different. But it definitely.
Now, when do you anticipate book 2 to come out? Because I know you said you're going to do beta reading. So when do you anticipate? What's your ballpark?
It'll definitely come out in 2027. Definitely.
So long.
It'll definitely come out in 2027. My goal is to get it out the first half of 2027. It might happen. But it'll definitely come out that year. Yeah. It's so hard because I have to get on my editor's schedule. So then I might have to wait to get onto her schedule. And then I got to get on her schedule again for proofreading. And then I got to get on the formatter's schedule. Sometimes you're waiting months to get on this and you don't really know. Sometimes they can squeeze you in fairly quickly. And sometimes they'll be like, well, I'll get to it in 2 months. And then you never really know. So if they were all able to, kind of turn things around very quickly for me, I think I definitely could get out the first half of 2026, but it just, you kind of, you're at the mercy of their schedules sometimes. So
I recently learned that things as simple, well, I shouldn't say simple because it's apparently not, but like getting sprayed edges in a book, that takes like a year. So I'm just now realizing that all these things, like you said, like lining up, getting on people's schedules, and it takes a lot of time and energy. But us readers just want it now.
Yeah.
I'll take the bound copy that you did for Charles. That's totally fine with me. The spiral bound.
Well, I think that's the issue with just readers itself. A lot of them do not have patience, and I think, and these are also the same people that go in to like on Goodreads and go into different. They'll give them 2-star reviews. I don't think, in my opinion, I think the star system that we all do, I don't think maybe we should do that anymore. We should just write how we feel, not rate as something like that. You know what I mean? Now, spice level, I do enjoy, as you all know, because that's always my question. Whenever someone brings up a book, I always ask how spicy something is. That I do need that information, but like stars and stuff. And if you DNF a book, don't review it. Just go away. I think a lot of times Goodreads is kind of like, it's like Reddit in a lot of ways. And I always say this about Reddit. Reddit is the asshole of the world because you can go on and like on a thread and you can like try to help somebody with something. And then a whole bunch of people, even though you're giving them genuine help, they'll downvote you and you lose karma. And Reddit. People are assholes on Reddit. This is why I don't talk on Reddit. I don't like it.
Never used it. Yeah.
It's the asshole of the world.
Either.
And so I think a lot of times Goodreads is a lot like that. Because people think
Threads is kind of
Threads, yes.
Ugh.
I don't do anything on Threads anymore.
At least my algorithm is not a happy Threads place.
No, every time I pop over there, I kind of pop back off of it because it's like, everyone's very angry over there.
Yeah. I had said I'm only on Threads because I like following all the authors that I love, because sometimes you get updates over there that you don't necessarily, because Instagram is like, it comes with a picture, whereas Threads, it's almost like a tweet, so it's like we're getting just like little updates, and I'm like, but otherwise I don't want to see anything that's on there. I just want to see your guys' updates, and then I need to get off because I get so angry. Like the rage bait is insane.
It really is. It really is.
Yeah.
I don't do Threads. I used to post over there on Threads. Also, I used to post with the podcast and with my Bookstagram on TikTok, and I stopped with it too because it's ridiculous over there too. I got a lot of bot people on TikTok, and it would write different things, and I'm like, I just don't have time. So I just do Instagram, and I do YouTube, and our Spotify that sends us out to everywhere. But other than that, I'm not going to get involved with angry people.
No. And I agree though, Rebecca, like you're saying, like with the star rating, it is kind of hard because you can really enjoy something, but maybe like a couple things, I don't know. I guess it's like this whole Bookstagram, we feel like we're all experts about what books should be like, and it's just it can be toxic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Books are so subjective too.
Yes.
It's hard to, it's hard to sort of, I don't know. Like I said, good for me. Goodreads. I try to. It's a place for readers, and it's hard because like sometimes my favorite book might, some people might totally hate my favorite book, and
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and and vice versa. So it's hard to
Yeah.
kind of, you know, I don't even know what I'm trying to say.
No, but I get,
I
I
know,
mean,
I
I've
just,
gone
I
yeah.
didn't
on.
know
You know what
reviewing
I'm
was a
saying? Like
thing.
Yeah.
it's hard to, yeah. I mean, like, and I'm fine. I'm fine with people giving negative reviews too. Like I do. Like I'm just happy someone would read my book. Like you read
Yeah.
my book, thank you. Like if
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
wasn't, it's not going to be for everybody, and
Right.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And you just hope that if you can, you can learn from negative reviews, but it's just it's
Yeah.
hard because it's
It's a
you want to
mindset.
make
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and
And
now you get out what I'm trying to say.
yeah,
But I
I've
know
gone
what
on
you're
and
saying.
been like, I'm gonna leave a 5-star review on this. I loved this book, and I'll be looking through other reviews, and they're like, this is wrong, and this character is insufferable, and this and that. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I guess
I'm going
if
to
you're looking
unpack
at
a
it,
lot.
yeah, I'm
And
like,
it's not like a
right.
bad review,
yeah,
but they're unpacking all the stuff that was the
yeah,
book. I'm like,
yeah.
why do you feel necessary to bring
You
all
see,
this
like
out?
if
I
I
don't know.
see if I do a review and that I give I don't go piece by piece of the thing. I give how it made me feel. That kind of vibe with it. I don't do any spoiler or anything with my reviews. Now I still do stars, but everything I always read, everything's a 5-star to me. If it made me happy or it gave me a feeling or if a book has made me cry or different things like that, they're all 5-star. If
Yeah.
it's made that, I've only one time I've had one book that I didn't care for and I DNF'd it. But I didn't go on and do
Yeah.
a review on it. I didn't say 1 star. I didn't do that. I
Yeah.
don't understand why people feel the need to do that.
Yeah.
I don't understand. And like you said, books are subjective. You don't
Yeah.
just because I love something, I don't expect Chelsea to love it or Heather to love it.
Right.
I always tell them, hey, you should try this out, but
Yeah.
I'm not going to be like all angry at them. Well, you didn't like that book
Yeah.
that I loved. I wouldn't be mad, but people are very odd. People on the internet, I should say, are
Well, they
odd.
just
Yeah.
get confident
Yeah.
when it's
When you're behind a keyboard,
typing instead of
Yes.
talking to
Yes.
someone else.
Yeah.
That's so
Mhm.
true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the warrior keyboarders.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
I totally agree with you with like I know everybody like kind of rates their books differently, but for me, if I feel something from a book,
Mhm.
if a book keeps me up way past my bedtime, if I'm like brushing my teeth reading a book because I literally can't put it down, that book's a 5-star book to me. Like
Yeah.
Right.
even if there's like even if you could like pick it, it doesn't matter to me if it did that to me, if it evoked that kind of experience on
Yeah.
me,
Yeah.
that's a 5-star.
Yeah.
But I know other people like literally have like a checklist. Well, that could do that to them. I stayed up to 3 a.m. reading this and I couldn't put it down, but it didn't hit this like checkbox of mine.
Right.
So it's not a 5-star.
Yeah, some
to me.
people
Like,
get meticulous with
yeah,
that,
it's
like
I just
rating.
go strictly off of feeling for me.
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
it is
Like
feeling.
if
Like
it's something that I notice throughout the book that I'm reading, I'm kind of like, ugh, like this again, or like they jump around a lot or doesn't flow or something like that where it brings my vibe a distraction, then I'm like, okay, 4
Or if they
stars. But I'm not
repeat a
like
lot.
a horrible book.
That's
Never.
another,
I
like,
DNF'd
I know
this.
you've said, like, if they repeat a lot, like they're going over
Mm,
the same thing
yes.
over and over and over
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
why are, that kind of thing. Now, if a book makes me cry, one of the books that have made me cry was, I don't know if you read the Bewitched series by Laura Thalassa. It's Bewitched, Bespelled, and then there's the prequel, which is The Curse That Binds. Heather and I have differing thoughts of when you should read The Curse That Binds. I always
Yeah.
say read it after. She said to read it first, but I like
Mhm.
it after. But you know what's going to happen in The Curse That Binds if you read Bewitched and Bespelled. There's, you know how it's going to play out. You know what it's building to.
Yeah.
And that book made me cry. And it just, it was such a feeling. At the end of the Plated Prisoners series, when there was things in book 6, moments that happened, and there were things, major events that happened, it made me cry. Those are there's something about a book when it can do that for you. You know,
Mhm.
it's even like if you're watching a TV show, like I was just watching Bridgerton because I hadn't watched it before and I binged it all. And I watched Queen what was her name?
Queen
Queen
Charlotte.
Charlotte. I
Mhm.
watched her thing and
Oh, I
that
love
last
that.
So
the
good.
last episode of her miniseries, it made me cry. You
That
know,
was so good.
that when a book can pull that kind of emotion out of you, that is an absolute 5-star. I've learned I'm a mood reader too. I've learned from what I do. But and of course, but you know, they have to be spicy. But yeah, but if a book can invoke that emotion, that is 5-star.
Rosemoon, I would say probably 3. But again, that's like subjective too.
Yeah.
You know, a spice level is subjective.
Yeah.
I would give it a 3. I've had most people gave it around that, like a 2.5 or a 3. I would do 3. I might even bump it to like this next one could be like a 3.5 for sure. But I write under my real name. So that's something too that I have to like, when I give it to beta readers, be like, I write under my real name. So if it's too spicy, you know, let me know.
There's never too much spice, I have to tell you.
I agree, but when you write
I
under
love it.
your real name, they're kind of because I don't use a pen name. But I agree. I kind of agree with that for sure. I'd say Rosewood's probably about a 3 peppers out of 5. This next one, Crash is little. It has one spicy scene, but it's a novella, but it is a very spicy scene that's in there. That I guess for the ratio of amount of pages to spice, that's probably about 3 too, in my opinion. So yeah, I think they're pretty spicy. I don't know, Chelsea, what do you think Rosewood was spicy?
I
It was
would.
pretty
I liked
spicy.
how you said like I would probably say like a 2.5 to 3, like somewhere in that range. It is hard. I'm not very good at spice ratings either.
I'm
So
not either.
that's one of those things where I kind of like leave those off when I do ratings. I'm like, yes, there is some, like, because I don't know how to rate them, but it's so well done because it's so.
Well, I
Again,
guess for like
Carter
spice,
Quint is just pure amazing man. It's just so good.
well,
I'm biased, but I agree. He's my baby. I agree.
Just like
Well, I know,
everything
like, with
about him
spice
oozes perfect man moments.
well, I know, like, with spice and stuff, like, Heather and I think a little differently. Like, what I consider maybe a little bit more spicy, she consider a little less spicy.
Mhm.
Like, the series now I just read, I read the Stalk by is it Seduction and Shadows? I always get the last 2 words mixed up, so it could be either or. It's by Maggie Sinceri. Now that I gave 4 peppers because it's a lot of, it's kind of, like dominance and submissive kind of things with
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
vampires and stuff like that. But I do like my spiciness. But now, like, I've seen people, like, if you guys have read Anathema by Carrie Lake,
No.
now I've seen some people will be like, that's like 1.5 or 2. But when you actually read it and you read the scene and stuff, it is very spicy. So I
Yeah.
guess I classify mine by how the spicy scene makes me feel or how I
Yeah.
see it in my mind. Not, that it's I just don't do fade to black. That's just not my, if it's that, that's not in my wheelhouse. I have to have my spiciness. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So Heidi, no wrong answer to this, because you're an author and you're busy and you have a lot going on with the audiobooks. But do you have any current reads right now? Are you like too in the thick of your writing to have time to read?
Right now I am. That's like all like, well, I was doing my Game of Thrones rewatching too, so that was taking into my reading time. But whenever I'm like deep in editing or there's different phases when I'm like working on a book where I can't read anything else. But it's odd because then there's other times where reading actually helps me write. So it just kind of depends on where I'm at in the creative process. But I don't think I've read a book. This is probably pretty funny. It's probably been about 3 months since I've read a book. And I think because I was thinking about this today, because I'm like, wonder if they're going to ask me what my last reads were, because I had to stop and think what they were, because it's been like 3 months. I read Older by Jennifer Hartman. I loved it. I read Verity by Colleen Hoover. I actually really liked it. I know it got like mixed. It got mixed reviews. I loved it.
It's so good.
And then I'm reading the From Blood and Ash, Flesh and Fire series. It was like in tandem. And so I kind of went off course because as soon as I met Nikdos, I'm like, I'm not stopping. So I was going back and forth between the two. So the last book I read was, I think it's the second to last Flesh and Fire book. I was supposed to do the book that was Castile's point of view, but that's what I'm going to read next. I was supposed to do that, but I stayed with Flesh and Fire. So I believe I'm going to jump back, and I'm getting close to sort of being finished. I guess I'm like 3/4 of the way finished, maybe a little more. I may be jumping into Castile's point of view, and then I have one more Flesh and Fire to go.
Okay.
I love Castile, but as soon as I met Niktos, I was like,
Yeah.
no, Niktos, like I couldn't go back.
He's
I
an
was like, I gotta
upgrade.
read it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Woo.
I think I just started. So I'm not, she has so many books. I don't know which one is which, but I've read Blood and Ash. So like Poppy and Castile. I just finished like The War of Two Queens, which is book 4. And then I just started, which I think is Castile's point of view, because he's been the narrator so far that I've been listening to. So
Okay.
that must be book 5, but I don't know if that's like, I don't know how her series works. I'm so confused. Because
Well, there's the prequel series, which is Flesh and Fire. So you could start that, and you could go tandem if you wanted to, because they kind of follow
That's what
a little bit.
I mean, I think you could honestly do it either way. Like I think you could read both separately, but I started reading them tandem because my editor told me to do it that way. So I'm like, all right, I'll read it that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm enjoying them. Like I love the first one. The first from Blood and Ash was just spectacular. Absolutely. I'll probably go back and reread that book. I want to read or listen to the graphic audio of that, because I heard that was really good.
The graphic audio has been good. I will say, like, there have been times, because I feel like sometimes it gets repetitive a bit. And I was telling the girls, I was like, at some points, I'm like, I do not want to hear what more worried about like Poppy is smelling or tasting. Like sometimes I'm just like, get to the next one, because I'm like anticipating all the big stuff that's happening, and I'm like, stop slowing it down. But it is like, now that I've gotten to the end, I'm like, oh, it is really good. Like the way she sets it all up.
She really does set up really well. But yeah, so those are the last 3 books I read. And I've been really excited to read Onyx Storm, which I haven't. That's the 3rd book, right?
Yes.
Because it's what is it? Fourth Wing, Iron Flame, Onyx Storm. Okay. I love the first 2. I've had Onyx Storm ready to go.
Yeah.
I want to read that. I want to read, what is it? Oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank. The Butcher and the Blackbird.
Oh,
That's what
yeah.
it's called, right? I want to read that
Listen
series.
to
That's
that
been
one.
high. Okay. That's been high on my TBR. I have the audio of Quicksilver because I haven't read that yet.
That's a good audiobook.
Or listen to it. I haven't read it, haven't listened to it.
Yeah.
Those ones I wanna check out. There's other ones on my TBR. I'm drawing a blank too, but I mean, did anybody read older, or you said you liked Verity, Chelsea? Anybody read older Verity?
I'm excited for Verity, the movie, to come out. I think they
I'm
casted
interested
very
in
well. I'm excited about that. Yeah. And without spoiling the ending, like I was telling people, they need to read it, because it's one of those ones, almost like Inception, where like you still don't know the truth of the ending. And so, so it's really, it's really good. Yeah.
Is that a contemporary romance?
Yeah, technically it's like, it's one of her, so Colleen Hoover's, it's one of her darker ones, I would say, because most of them are,
I don't think I've ever read anything by her. I'm pretty sure.
It starts with us, it ends with us.
I read those too. Yeah. That's the only ones I've read by her. Verity was very and supposedly, I think I read the version that has the extended epilogue or whatever at the end. So people, and because I guess that came out later, like maybe like a year after or something. So people's opinions changed after. Because I never read the first version where they didn't have that extension. I only started with the newest version, which had it.
So you're telling me I need to go read that, because I had no idea.
You got to read the end. I would totally be team. Oh my God, what is it? Team Manuscript, and what's the other one? I'm drawing a blank. What is it? You know what I'm talking about? Team Manuscript and team. What do they call it? It's like, well, anyway. I see why people changed their mind on which team they are in because of that little extra spot at the end, a little extra information they put in there. But I still am a little unclear. But I think I am team, not the Manuscript, whatever they call it.
Okay.
The other team.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
I have to find it. I have to see. Well, because I didn't know.
What is it called?
I didn't know about the epilogue thing. So that like changes everything.
Team reality, baby. It's not
okay.
team reality, but you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like the one is like the people that believed it was the manuscript, and the
Yes.
other are the people that believed it was like the real life situation, and they named that a certain way. But it's very very
team
clever.
manuscript versus team letter debate. That's what it says.
Yes. Okay. So
Oh.
if you're remembering there's like the manuscript
Yes.
versus the reality.
Yes.
So you'll have to
Yes.
read that final blurb at
Okay,
the end to
I
see what
see,
you
and
think.
I'm team manuscript, but now I need to read this extra to know.
Yes, you might change your opinion on
Okay.
that.
Yeah.
I would have been team manuscript too.
Okay.
And now now I don't know. Now I don't know.
See,
I'm not
that's what I was
either
saying.
way.
It's like Inception.
So,
Like you really, there is
yeah.
no right answer. Nobody's ever gonna
Yeah.
know.
Weird.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Now, how many books would you say are on your TBR list?
Too many. I don't even know. I can't even. And it's like I'm so unorganized at that. I don't even have a list of them. I know in my brain what I want to read,
Yeah.
and sometimes it'll pop up. And I'll see it in a review, and I'll be like, "That's the one I've wanted to read for years, and I haven't." But yeah, the Butcher and the Blackbird, that whole series, I want to read. I want to read Quicksilver because I haven't yet. I read. Oh my God, I read Lights Out, and I haven't read any of the other ones of that. I would like to do that. Onyx Storm. I want to finish the Flesh and Fire from Blood and Ash series. Anything Penelope Douglas, because I'm obsessed with Penelope Douglas, that I haven't read yet, I will read.
I have 336 books right now on my TBR list. Because we've been but it was over 400. And then I did the purge here a few weeks ago when we did our quarter 2 mega episode. I purged a whole bunch because I had a lot of things on there that I added when I first started Bookstagram, and now as I look back at it, I realize I'm probably not going to get to those, but still 336 is a lot. But now, if you haven't read anything by Melissa K. Rorick, have you ever thought of reading the Legacy series? That is a very good one. It's very dark and everybody's morally gray.
Oh
yes. It's very good. I have her Lady of Darkness series I got for Christmas, and it's sitting. I have so many. My husband got me 30-some books, I think, for Christmas.
A lot.
Yes,
oh, that's amazing.
So I have a lot of books on my physical TBR right here beside me. But I have 336 on my TBR.
There's a lot of there's a lot of indie author books too. I want to check out.
Most of mine are indie.
Yeah,
most of mine are indie.
But yeah, there's like Jana's son for today's this month is Mermaid, and if you like those books, if you like mermaid books, The Seas Between Us by her is really good. And she's got a couple other books in the series that I want to check out as well. And she's a good friend of mine. She's amazing. She's a beautiful writer. But like, there's definitely some indie gems in the mermaid. Mermaid I'm being introduced to because we're all in this like collaboration, this like group chat. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm like your book I'm gonna read, your book I'm gonna read. Like,
there's another one, Amelia J. I want to read her book. She's an indie author, and she does like it's A Wreath Beneath the Tides.
Yes.
Amelia J.
Yes.
Okay. I've seen a lot about that. So I love this new mermaid thing. And this is my first time seeing it really hit. And I love seeing Rose Moon on there and LJ Andrews. It's been fun.
Right, we've had some neat ones because I haven't read. I just started into my Worlds of Pirates because I read Rhiannon Haggerton's Bloody Black. That is a very good one. That was my first pirate book that I got into. And then now I have LJ's, Andrews, The Everseas. I have them. Chelsea just read The Ever King. I have mine. Mine are sitting on my shelf, but I'm going to wait because the Stolen Crown comes out in October. So I'm going to kind of wait so I keep things fresh in my mind. Now, let me ask you this, Heidi. Since there's like time periods from when your first book comes out to your second book, do you ever consider putting at the beginning, like of the second book, a little like refresher, like a paragraph or a page or two so that people can remember what your first book was about? Have you ever considered doing that?
I haven't, but now I am because that's a really good idea. I've never
I
thought
love
of that.
that.
Yeah, it's
It's so
Honestly,
becoming
cool.
that's a
it's becoming a thing that Bookstagram, like people are asking for it.
yeah.
So if you've never heard of that, it's a good trend to jump on. Yeah.
That's really awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because,
I
you know,
actually will consider doing that. That's a great.
because going from a
Okay,
year
yeah.
or more, you know, between books or when they come out,
Mhm.
we don't always remember. And,
Well, and
you
not
know,
only that, but
No.
and
like
now,
you can write it, you know how you have like the journal entries kind of from Carter, like you could almost do it in his hand, you know, like or in his voice. So
What a great idea.
yeah,
Yes, I
yeah,
could totally do that.
yeah.
Um, that's like yeah, because like when I send Rosemoon out, or not Rosemoon, the second book out to beta readers,
Mhm.
some people were like planning on doing a reread of it,
Yeah.
but like if they're not, I have this really I queried Rosemoon for a hot minute back in the day. So I have like a 3-page, 1-page, 2-page, 3-page synopsis of it, really dry, really boring, because that's how literary agents want it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I'm like worrying people. I'm like, it's boring. I'll send it to you. So it's
yeah,
like a 3-page synopsis of Rosemoon, but there's also certain pages of Rosemoon I want them to reference,
mhm,
like moving forward, so it makes sense in the next book.
yeah.
So that's a great idea, Chelsea. I could take that information and turn it into Carter Quid's
Oh,
diary
yeah.
entry right in the
Yeah.
front.
Yes.
Sweet.
Hot damn, that's awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
see, I love those kind of things in a book. I love when like there's a lot of like terminology or different creatures and things. Heather and I have said it too, and also Chelsea, we love a glossary. Like when you have that with a little,
Yeah.
even like, not necessarily that it gives things away, but it helps.
Yeah.
We love family trees. We love glossaries. We love
Yeah.
maps. And we
Maps.
love
nice
a
thing
beginning synopsis. So we
Yeah.
don't between books.
Yeah, the nice thing
So
about
that'd be
Rosemoon
awesome.
is you don't really need like the glossary part, which is nice because
Mhm.
it's like modern world and then the ocean
Nice.
world that we're probably going to get more of in book 2, probably,
Okay.
maybe. Um, so that's the cool part is that you don't really have to like
Yep.
spend so much time on that part. But yeah, like those heavy
Yeah.
romantasies, those are definitely nice to have.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I actually, it's funny, sort of creating my own. I'm total pantster when I write, and not a plotter at all, but I've been forced to be, I learned this new term called a plotster recently. I was like, that's a thing. I'm like, okay. So I've been forced to being a little bit more of a plotster because I am writing a series. So I'm not smart enough to keep track of it without sort of plotting it out. But so I'm kind of writing this as I go. Like I was forced to do this really in-depth like timeline to keep everything straight. And I'm kind of doing a character encyclopedia. This is all for myself that I eventually, because I do develop things sometimes as I write, like not ahead of time.
Mm.
So eventually that I probably will put those things in there. Like I can't put it in Rosemoon because it wouldn't make any sense, but for the books that it applies to, I probably will put that in. Even if it's not coming out right away, I'll probably put that in eventually. Um, because yeah, some of this stuff I'm developing like as I go too. So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
kind of like
See, I like
crazy.
that.
Yeah. It's fun to
Every-
behind the scenes.
Yeah.
everyone's so different with how they write. Like they
Mhm.
really are. I think it's a blessing and a curse to be a pantster of a writer because it it is because like the blessing of it is everything's very like organic. So I don't know sometimes where things are gonna go until they're hot off my fingertips. Like I have a general idea, but so like the emotion and everything that's coming out of me, it's happening in that moment. Like so I think they're very raw emotions. Um, but then trying to keep like track of the stories and everything flowing together. It's very difficult for me. I don't think I was meant to write like a connected fantasy series, but I'm doing it nonetheless. So
Yes. Yes, you are. Yeah.
I say this is the last one I'm doing, and then I write Crash and write it in there, and then it's like. I'm like, I'm only doing standalones in a universe from now on. But no, I'll probably always connect them somehow.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe not.
I love the
We'll see.
interconnected, like the little side quests and then the meetups, you know,
Yeah.
it just kind of gives us because I love seeing the characters that we love so much in other stories because then you get to visit them again.
Yeah.
So
Well, yeah, I like
It's
that.
hard.
Yeah.
It's hard as an author because you get very attached to your characters. So I think that's why I don't. I think that's why I connect them, and I wrote something in Crash that I think I subconsciously did, so I could like write it into Rosemoon and like write into the Prophecy of Light series
Yeah.
per se. And then when I was totally done with the second book, when I was going through the developmental edit, I had to go in and I was so excited because I had to write in a scene where Spencer and Amanda from Crash meet, the characters from the Prophecy of Light. It's a really fun scene too.
Yeah.
So if you've read Crash, it'll be even more fun because you kind of know their backstory. But
Oh, see, I like that.
I know. I
See,
love
I love
interconnection.
that. Yes, I like that. Like you take like in Phantasma, Enchantra, they're all now those are all standalones, but yet they're all interconnected. You have, you get to see the characters from Phantasma. You see them a little bit in Enchantra, or like I was saying with the Legacy series, there are characters from Lady of Darkness that appear in that. Even though Melissa said you can read them any order you want to, Heather and I have Heather has her thoughts of how I should have read it, and I did not read it the way Heather wanted me to, but I didn't think no at the time. But still, you get to revisit those characters, and it's so nice to see them again, I guess you could say. And I like that. Girls, this has been super fun today.
I know.
Yes.
Have you had fun today, Heidi?
Awesome. I've had a blast today. Thank you for having me.
Yes.
Now, would you like to come back one day here?
Absolutely.
And come back and visit with us because, we're fun people.
Yeah, you'll have to
They are fun.
your clips, your audiobook clips, and we'll have to, play them a little bit and gush over those.
Yeah, definitely. That'd be amazing. I'd love to come back on anytime.
And you have to always remember the one thing with us is we never pronounce anything correct. So always remember that. Because we had, the one thing we had was Victor and Vincent. That's from the A Serpent in the Wings of Night. So if you have not read that book, his name is Vincent, but Heather and I call him Victor.
Or
just so you know.
Or is it? Or is it Victor?
Or is it?
I'm gonna have to read it so that I can straighten this up.
Yeah, Chelsea needs to be our mediator.
you have to but that is another series it's amazing. You should check it out if you have not.
Book.
But
what's it called?
That's
the series?
That's The Crowns of Nyaxis by Carissa Broadbent. The first one is The Serpent in the Wings of Night.
Okay, I've heard of that.
Vampire.
Because it's
Ooh, I love
it's
vampires.
three duologies. And there's two standalone, or there's a novella, and then there's a standalone that goes in the middle.
Yeah.
And the first book of the third duology comes out in August. But it's very good. Oh, it's very
and
good.
It's a vampire book?
Mm-hmm.
I will write.
Vincent.
I have the best. I'm going to write a vampire book one day, and I have the best idea for one, and that's one day I'll write it.
I do love a vampire.
I love
series.
vampires. I love I do. I can. There like can't be too many of them. Like I love vampire books.
Well, I love
vampires.
I love Bram Stoker there, and I love Dracula. And my favorite line from that book is, "I've crossed oceans of time to find you." Every time. And I think that's the moment of when I fell in love with vampires, with those books. And there's something about that line. If my husband said that to me, that would be it. If all of our husbands could say the lines that these men say in our books, we'd all be pudding, or we'd have 750 children.
I would look at him like, who are you?
I know, right?
I do want to see the new Dracula movie. They redid it.
That great.
You watched it?
No, someone else that I am on a chat with, she's like, it looks really good through the trailer, but it's very disappointing when you watch it. So
I didn't even know they did a new Dracula. When did that come out?
I think it came out in February.
Oh,
okay.
I didn't even
something
know
like
that was
that.
a thing.
Yeah, I
I didn't either.
And it's in the trailer and stuff, it's like, you see him, Dracula, of course we all know who he is, and his wife dies, because this is the trailer, so this isn't like spoiler stuff. It's in the trailer, and she dies, and he has to wait until she's born again, and then he has to find her, and he finds, and I think it's like in London or something like that, and he finds her again, and of course she doesn't know him, and then from what I gather from the trailer and stuff like that, then she remembers who he is, and it looked really good, but that's highly disappointing.
Yeah, the concept of that sounds awesome.
Again, he crossed oceans of time to find her. That's what he had to do. See? Exactly.
Premise is cute.
Wait, that wasn't the original Dracula premise, right? Like what
What?
was the
In Dracula,
how
Bram Stoker's?
uh,
It's
I
been a
one
long
with
time.
don't know.
I can't remember. I don't
Well, that's what
I'm
he
thinking of
says with Johnny Depp. Wasn't Johnny Depp wasn't he Dracula? Was that him in Bram Stoker? Who was the guy that played in Bram Stoker's?
Gary Oldman?
It
But
might have been him.
didn't he do a Dracula?
Let's see.
It might
That's
have
the
been him.
last one.
I know, I'm Googling.
Because there's the one, and he sees Winona Ryder, because I know she was in it. Remember, and he has the little
Been such
glasses
a-
on.
It has been such a long time
That's a long
since I have
See, I think the reason you and
watched-
I we like vampires because we grew up in the era of Anne Rice. You know, we
Lost
grew up
Boys.
the Lost Boys. We grew up with
Mhm.
Interview with the Vampire. You know, Brad Pitt.
Yep.
You know,
Oh, that was a great book and great movie. I was obsessed with the Lost Boys. They were amazing.
I
Yeah, we grew
remember-
up in
Oh yeah,
the
Bram
movie.
Stoker's Dracula. You had
Gary
Johnny
Oldman.
Depp, it looks like.
Oh, is that who it was? Why did I think it was Johnny Depp? Maybe it's because he went with Winona Ryder. Maybe
Right.
that's what I
'cause
was thinking.
Winona and him
Johnny
are-
Yeah.
Johnny Depp would make a great vampire. Holy smokes.
Yeah.
Imagine him as Dracula. Oh my.
Keanu.
He
I
is-
could
he
just
is
try.
on my
Keanu
list.
Reeves, yeah, Keanu
Keanu.
Reeves.
But
I
look,
love Keanu Reeves.
Rebecca, with your Reddit information, the first title under discussions and forums is Dracula 2025, a pile of trash. That's the title
Oh,
that
so
someone has on
disappointing.
Reddit.
It had such a good premise, though. When you see the trailer, it just looks like one of those, you know, those feelings. You know, he crossed all that time to get her back again. You know, that reincarnation kind of thing.
I don't know. Maybe since you're a fan, it might be good. It could go one way or the other, right? Like you're a fan of Dracula. Maybe it's like, ooh, this is not like the original and I hate it. Or you're like,
Maybe.
yes, this is my story.
But I love vampire stories in general. You know,
I do too.
I've been on a vampire kick lately because, as like I told you, Stalked by Seduction, and that's a vampire. Now he has a kind of a thing happening there. He watched her from when she was 5 years old, but not, and he was like a 200 or 300 some year old vampire, but he wasn't watching her in like he wanted her as a child. He discovers her, then and watches her every so many years, and then he sees her as an adult, but he knows there's some type of connection between them because his name's Rune and her name's Scarlet, and he knows there's a connection, but he wants her to live her life. So even though he sees her and that, he walks away from her, but yet
It's kind
they
of like
still
the
end up
whole
coming back together.
Jacob Renesmee from Twilight thing all over
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
Oh, but I told you guys, and I still have to look up the thing. I'll have to look for it for you, or maybe I did send it to you. But they have that thing. You can go. It's the people that did Mystery Theater 3000. They have their thing, and you can buy it, and you download it, and you play it while you're watching Twilight. And they said it makes the movies 1,000,000 times better because they have commentary through the entire movie.
Oh.
But you guys don't know what Mystery Theater 3000 is. You just don't remember it.
It's like a parody. No, they do
Okay.
a whole parody thing. Yeah.
They do. They comment
Yeah.
through the whole thing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like
That could
They
be fun.
talk shit.
Heidi,
They
do you
talk shit
remember
about
it?
the movie the whole time.
Yes, Heidi, do you remember it? Mystery Theater 3000
It's like these
or
puppets.
something like that.
It's like sparking, sort of. It's sparking. I don't think I'm very familiar with it, but I think I know of it.
Yeah.
Like they would
So-
watch movies. They would have the movie on the screen, and I think you could see like their silhouettes, or maybe it was just you could hear them. Do you
Oh.
remember now what I'm talking about?
Yes,
Okay,
I
well,
do. I do.
they have-
I'm not like I don't think I've seen very much of it, but I know what you're talking about.
Well,
The
they
silhouette
have.
thing is.
Oh yeah, so now they have a website because they don't do that show anymore on TV, and they have a
Okay.
website, and you can download all different ones from different movies, and you can play it alongside while you're watching the movie. And they said it makes it better. Twilight, the whole entire series. Because I mean, I've
Check it
only
out.
watched the movies. These girls have told me the books are much better.
Yeah.
I have only
Yeah.
watched the movies, but I thought the movies were fine. I don't know, but I've watched them many moons ago. I think I watched them while I was pregnant with my oldest, so that's been a long time. So my judgment might not be the best there, but I want to try I want to do the little thing where they have the Mystery Theater people.
Okay.
Again, they said it's really good. But I'll have to look, and I'll
Have to
send you
check
the
it
link
out.
when I find it. I'll send it to you.
Please do.
But now, Heidi, well, before we go, will you tell everybody where they can find you, find your books, find you on Instagram, all that good stuff?
Yeah, right now my books are only on Amazon. Hopefully that will expand in the future, but right now you can get them on Amazon. I'm most active on Instagram. My handle is what is my handle? Heidi Adams author. That's my handle. Heidi underscore Adams
I
underscore
think
author.
you have underscores, I think,
Yeah.
in there. Isn't it Heidi underscore Adams
Yeah.
author?
Mhm,
Or
mhm.
underscore, yes. We'll have it
And
on our
that's
description.
okay. That's where I'm the most active. I mean, I have a tiny presence on TikTok. I don't understand that app at all. So I'm just kind of on there, but I'm most active on Instagram for sure.
Yeah.
And also now, everybody, please go and follow us as well at 2girls1tbr on Instagram. Subscribe to us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Help us reach that 100 subscriber goal.
So close.
And
But yet so far.
hey, we're closer to it than the last time.
Yeah.
We're over 60
we're
some
slowly-
subscribers on YouTube now. Thank you.
Yeah.
We were at 55, so hey, we are gaining traction.
Very good.
But
Yes.
everyone, but thanks for hanging out with us with the Coven today. We will see you next week for more spicy Rex and TBR wreckage. Good night, book babes.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.